What's going on, everybody? Will is fixing a microphone problem. He'll be on any moment now. Wanted to say we're glad that you're here. It's been a weird, rough week. Are you good now?
Check.
You're good.
Happy Halloween. How was everyone's Halloween?
Yeah. So on that note, we're gonna get right into it and cover some things real quick. I gotta say, it's really nice to see a lot of friendly names in the chat already, and a lot of sentiments that I expected. One thing that I got to dive right into is on this show before. I've gotten reviews on the podcast that say that we are too political on Reconnected. And I have to be flat out honest. I have certainly held back before and not said things in the way that I've wanted us to. I'm going to give a flat out warning tonight, right now, is if you don't want to hear political talk, you're not going to want to hang out for the rest of this show tonight. Everything that surrounds this show, everything that surrounds film, everything that surrounds the arts, everything that surrounds humanity is in question this week for many people. When you are discussing film and the arts specifically, they are inherently political. And so if you think that the films that we love and that we cover are not going to be affected by some of the policy discussions in the country or some of the choices made by our leadership, you are sorely mistaken. And we want you to understand that this show specifically holds the position that everyone is welcome here. Now, that being said, the paradox of exclusion that it were, where we are definitely not going to be happy with people that think less of others. We are essentially coming to an agreement as you come and watch this show, and that's that everyone has value. If you agree to that, everyone is included. If you step into this ring and think that other people are less than you, you're not welcome. And that's not us being exclusionary. You didn't sign up for the agreement, so you're not welcome here. Period. We would like you to understand that we want everybody here, but that means that we want everybody here. And if you don't want that, don't be here. Period. We don't want you here. Any other thoughts, Will?
Yeah, no Hinchcliffs allowed. That's my new name for grody assholes who think they should be able to say whatever they want and nobody can say anything back to them.
Yeah.
Sensitive. Yeah, it's been a rough week. Obviously, it didn't go the way many of us wanted it to go. I have a lot of stuff in my heart that I want to say, a lot of stuff that I'm very upset about. I know that a lot of people on here feel less safe today than they did on Monday. And I wish I could do something more than say solidarity, and I'm sorry. And I think that I'm going to try to do more of what I can to convince people to build the kind of world that I want to see, that I know many of us want to see. It's hard because I could understand if somebody is has a deeply held belief that's different than mine. I can understand if somebody genuinely thinks economic policies are more beneficial than the ones that I think are beneficial. But to listen to the rhetoric, to hear what's being said, and to dismiss it and say, oh, well, I don't like what I hear, but I'm going to vote this way anyway. That I can't ride with that. That's hard. nobody should fear an administration if they're just trying to live their lives. And frankly, I don't want tariffs on Eureka titles. There's that as well. There's some real victims here we got to look out for.
Free shipping, however, tariffs included.
That shit's gonna, we got to get passed on to the consumer, my friends.
So there is one more thing that Will and I wanted to say about all of this, and that is that a little over a year ago, we publicly instated what is known now as someone's favorite productions. And just like this week has raised the important issue of marginalized voices not being heard and communities not ever being granted literally the rights they deserve, Will and I have approached everything, all of our projects, with the mindset of raising important voices that would never get a chance. We are focusing on telling stories through these about political context in many situations. We are raising important values that maybe would not have gotten covered, and we want to make sure that those are always at the forefront of what we're doing. And we have people on our team that are part of these marginalized communities, and we want to keep it that way. So we're trying to always make that important.
We don't want to keep them marginalized. We want to keep them on the team.
Well, yeah, we'll say that.
Yes,
the sad thing is they are stuck that way inherently at the moment.
It's very important for these two white guys to tell the stories of marginalized people.
Yeah.
I want to say, I had classes this week. I gave everybody election day off, and I don't know why. I've been through umpteen elections at this point. I should know better than to listen to polls, but I started off Tuesday night feeling pretty confident, and it hurts so much to see young people who are voting in their first elections be so hurt. It's one thing to be disappointed, and I think, I've seen some dude bros on the internet calling everybody sore losers, and nothing could be further from the truth. Kamala Harris's concession speech was absolutely graceful and dignified, and the people who voted for Kamala Harris are sad and they're angry and they're upset, but they're not sore losers. And it makes me mad to see people twisting the knife. It makes me very sad to see the demographic breakdown of the vote. It's pretty clear, who's responsible for it. Me and you and the white ladies, Ryan, and so the question is, how do we win? It's one thing to be right, and it's another thing to win. Sometimes you can do both. Sometimes you have to figure out how to do one. And I think that's the next question, because I don't want my children to feel unsafe. I don't want the people who watch this show to feel unsafe. I don't want anybody to feel unsafe, except perhaps Tony Hinchcliffe. I want him to feel unsafe.
I mean, to back that up, I want the people who have been emboldened over the last 8 years to share those opinions publicly to feel unsafe. Genuinely. Yeah.
To understand that freedom of speech goes both ways. You can say whatever you want, but people have the right to reply. It's time to reply. I think that should be the refrain. It's time to reply.
I would agree. And the last thing I'll say on this front before we start the usual segments here, there was a good 24 hours this week where I felt like I was not going to be able to have this show this week. And in the last just over 3 years, I've only ever missed one Thursday. And so that shows you how crummy this week felt.
I know you were going to cancel me.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is, people.
After thinking on it for quite some time, I realized, the response to this situation is truly to come together as communities. This is the right way to respond to this, is to have the show tonight, is to have happiness here, is to find things, what we find joy in, and distract ourselves for one fleeting moment. And in that, tonight, I want to say I cannot wait to smile with you all. I can't wait to laugh at Will's jokes. I can't wait to respond to some titles that I truly can't wait to hold in my hands and appreciate the arts. I can't wait to look back on this in a few months and understand that these Thursday nights are some of the most important things in my life. And the truth is, it seems like, as many of you share with me, in many of yours. And so I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here every Thursday. And I can't wait for the weeks that Will's here, and it feels like family again.
Well, good news, bad news. The good news is I've got a lot of jokes. The bad news is they were the ones that Hinchcliffe cut out of his set. It was just like, these don't pass muster.
There's a floating pile of garbage in LA, and it's called Dark Force Entertainment. Anyways, thank you all for being here tonight. Thursday night is a moment of coming together and enjoying this in a way that we can look back on fondly. So thanks for being the community. Thanks for being here for me as much as you think I'm here for you. Will, I love you, brother. Thanks for being here. Let's truly get into it. Other than the last 3 days, how was your month, my friend?
Well, first of all, I love you too, and I thank the gay rights movement for allowing me to say that.
As you wear the rainbow shirt, yes.
In my lifetime, there was a point where I'd just be like, "What?" Just kidding. What was your question?
How's the last month been? How was not Thanksgiving, Halloween?
Oh my God!
What else have we done? It's been like 3 years since you were here, so let's talk about it.
October was a very difficult month. Like every single thing that I own that's expensive broke. Right? Cars, refrigerators, ovens, phones, fucking dog. Oh my God. I'll get to that in a minute. Highlights of October. I saw Crypta, the Brazilian band Crypta, live. It's my second time seeing them this year. If you don't know Crypta, check them out. They're amazing. Death metal band out of Brazil. That was fun. They opened for Hatebreed, who are on like a 30th anniversary tour and is not my scene.
What in the world?
Okay, so hear me out. One of my very good friends is a philosophy grad student who is also a prison warden.
There's some existential problems.
Let me tell you, you've met me, right? I'm a big guy. This guy's arm is bigger than both of my legs together. He's like a power lifter. I mean, he's a prison warden. He has to be able to like fight his way through riots and stuff. So he messaged me and was like, "Hey man, Hatebreed and Carcass, the British death metal band Carcass are coming to Greensboro. You want to come with me?" And I was like, hell no, but yeah, I'll go with you. And then when I saw Crypta was the opening act, I was like, sweet, because I love Crypta. But I'd never really listened to Hatebreed before, because that's kind of like, guys with backwards hats that jump up and down and kind of make vague rhythmic gestures. I don't get that.
Right.
Circle pit guys. And so seeing guys in their late 40s and 50s trying to circle pit was pretty phenomenal. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing Crypta. What else happened in October?
One big thing, we dropped the Toby Hooper documentary. You haven't had a chance to talk about that.
Shit. That's right. We worked so hard on that. Listen, I hope some of you have gotten to see it. Oh, and we went live with Someone's Favorite Productions website.
That's true.
So on October 11th, we released through the University of Texas Press and also through Someone's Favorite Productions, a 50 years of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 50 years of Toby Hooper documentary. It's about 26 minutes long. John Daly edited this film and deserves 100% of the credit, because the way I conceived it was interviews with some of the contributors to our book, American Twilight, The Cinema of Toby Hooper. And I got a lot of great interviews. I got an exclusive brand new interview with Joe Bob Briggs as well. And John took a very simple concept and turned it into a real movie.
Yeah.
The artistry of his edit and the way he used footage from Hooper's films was nothing short of astonishing, especially when you consider that we made that thing in about 3 weeks. So not because it's about our work, but because it's amazing and because it's about John Daly's work, I highly recommend people check it out. It really is astonishing.
I had very little to do with it, so I can say this completely unbiased. I was proud just to even have people I know be involved in it. It is that good. I am stoked that it's been able to go out there. Just the YouTube views, more than 3,000 people have watched it, which is fantastic. I'm stoked that people are able to get eyes on it. And if you haven't, please go back, put it in your watch later playlist, catch it when you can. It's a little long, I get that, but if you can, don't listen to it while you work, actually watch it. There's something about hearing the interviews and seeing the films discussed at the same time that make it feel genuinely magical.
And Joe Bob was so generous. At the end, he actually did a drive-in totals for the book, which was very funny, kind of making fun of the academic side of things. So that happened. We can't announce any of them yet, I don't think, but we finished a couple of visual essays.
Multiple, yeah. And that's just in the last week.
Erica of Unsung Horrors finished an amazing visual essay that I cannot wait for people to see. So I think it's one of her best ones, honestly.
It is. And that disc that's going to be on is going to be a special one. I can't wait to really highlight that.
Clayton Dillard, who many of you don't know yet because none of the visual essays he's made have been released, but
he's in the documentary. You can go see him.
He is in the documentary.
The video.
He is in the Toby Hooper documentary. But he's got 3 or 4 that are about to be announced that are worth the price of the disc, I think. So, we had a very active October. Halloween was nice. My daughter Helen dressed up as a frat boy, and what that meant to her was khaki cargo shorts, a t-shirt with some Greek letters on it, some flannel, pink backwards Hilfiger hat, and she took some makeup and made like a goatee. I was pretty impressed with that. She came up. Oh, and she had a red Solo cup for the trick.
Nice.
How was Halloween for you guys?
It was okay. We took our kids, I think, on the longest walk that they've been able to do yet. As they get a little bit older, it's finally like a real Halloween trick-or-treat. Jonah was dressed up. For many of you that are friends of mine on Facebook, you got to see the picture. My oldest was dressed up as an inflatable rubber chicken, but done up in like a 70s rocker style. It had like neon feathers and stuff like that. My youngest Spencer was Yoshi, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. He looked great. They both had a good time, had plenty of loot. Walked throughout the back end of the neighborhood that we live in, which we found out, because we don't go back there very often, quite obviously the rich area. Found some like full-size candy bars. We'll be visiting there again. The last month, you and I talked about a bunch of stuff that you've watched. What have you been watching, my friend?
Oh, I want to call out Josie DeMarco. She put a list of movies that she just saw, and one of them I watched.
I missed that.
Pull those up, because I just watched one of them perfectly. It's the perfect for the day after the election. I watched The Face Behind the Mask, which is streaming on Criterion right now. Stars Peter Lorre. Holy shit, that's a bleak one. I don't want to spoil any of it. It's only like 68 minutes. So I highly recommend The Face Behind the Mask with Peter Lorre. It was great.
Movie Palace of Blood also left a comment before we even got started. Will, what's your top 3 Christmas or holiday movies?
I'll tell you in December.
Got to come back next month. All right, what'd you watch in October and the first part of November?
Well, I'll tell you. Actually, the last one I'm going to show will take everyone's minds off of everything. So in addition to The Face Behind the Mask, I'll start with streaming. I watched a movie called Freelance. Is that what it's called? Freelance with Alison Brie. Yeah, it's from 2023 with Alison Brie and John Cena. And you made fun of it on the show because the cover art was so dumb.
Oh, was that called Freelance?
Yeah. John Cena is a ex special ops SEAL guy turned mercenary who is sent to a South American country, unnamed, but it's Venezuela, with a Hugo Chavez style dictator. And what's interesting is that the movie's not good, but it's not bad either. I expected it to be terrible, but it wasn't terrible. And weirdly, it makes the Hugo Chavez dictator like heroic, like protecting his country from the capitalist oligarchs like us. So I don't not recommend Freelance. I enjoyed it.
Good to know.
Okay, that's my another thing I watched streaming. Oh, we'll do that with the announcements. So I watched first time Marx Brothers: A Night in Casablanca, and it's about Nazis post World War II hiding out in a hotel, murdering hotel clerk after hotel clerk in an attempt to find some jewels that they've hidden there. Finally, Groucho becomes the hotel clerk, and things begin to turn the right way. I wished Groucho had been part of the Democratic Party strategy. Night at Casablanca, recommend. With the aforementioned John Daly, just the other night, I watched Joe D'Amato's 2020 Texas Gladiators 4K from Severin. It's actually a bargain, really, because for the price of one 4K, you get 5 movies in one movie. It just keeps changing to a different movie. I'm not even sure what happens, but I loved it. It starts out, well, you know what? I'll let it go.
Hell of a review.
I saw Night Chills.
Nice.
From Saturn's Core. Great, actually. Really well shot. This is an SOV movie from 2001 about a group of Dungeons and Dragons players. It was released in 2001.
Yeah, I remember. For some reason, I remember that being like 91. Dang. Okay.
I think of all SOV movies as being 1991.
Okay, touche.
But anyway, enjoyed it a lot. It's about a group of D&D players, one of whom is socially awkward, lonely, and mentally unstable. Makes equally good double feature with Mazes and Monsters or Charles Band's The Dungeon Master, depending on your mood. If you want to go full mental instability, you can do Mazes and Monsters. If you want to just have a little fun, you can go Dungeon Master. Enjoyed that. Last Slumber Party from AGFA. My favorite part of this is how enthusiastic, oh shoot, what's his name from AGFA is?
Brett Berg?
No, the other one.
Josie Emba.
Yes. There's a great Q&A with the one Joe and the lead actress on here. It's better than the movie, but the movie is fun. I'll say that. coming towards the end. I actually watched a lot of movies not for work this month. It takes a lot for a movie to make me say, what is happening? An eye for an eye made me say, what is happening, like 6 times. It's just a straightforward, you think, cops versus triad Hong Kong Cat 3 movie. It's got a nice historical context visual essay by Sam Deegan. This movie, well worth picking up. I loved Eye for an Eye. Finally, and here's the most controversial thing that's going to happen this week.
Okay, I remember this.
I ran the series, the entire Alien franchise. I've not seen Romulus yet. I was doing this to prepare for Romulus. I had never seen Prometheus or Covenant. And so I decided to go back to the beginning and watch all of the Alien films. Here is my take. Alien 1. I liked it better than I remember. Which is a lot for me to say about a Ridley Scott movie. But because it was written by Dan O'Bannon, it makes sense. Yeah, Alien 1. No notes. I think we all agree that it is close to, if not a masterpiece. Aliens from James Cameron. As you know, I'm no fan of James Cameron. Aliens 2, I disliked more than I remembered. And hear me out. When a filmmaker makes a world, it can be any world they want. But once you make the world has to follow the rules that you set for it. Whether you're Jim Wynorski or Steven Spielberg, you make the world, and if you break the rules of your own world, then that's a problem. They send like this squadron of highly trained military people. And as Sigourney Weaver points out, they have less of a survivability rating than a small child. They are the dumbest soldiers in the history, like clearly Marines. Like just the dumbest. And the only reason I enjoy any of it is because of the way Bill Paxton delivers his stupid lines. The lines are stupid. Any other actor, that would be awful. He makes them good. So I did not enjoy Aliens. Alien 3. I watched both cuts. And I'm gonna give props to the studio for the 1997 cut, because I had forgotten they spend the first 30 minutes of the movie dismembering a child's corpse and killing a dog. That's the beginning of the movie. And it gets
just to get you to settle in.
Yeah. So you know what? Props to the studio for that. I actually enjoyed the theatrical cut more than the reassembly cut that was supposed to be closer to what Fincher wanted. So I did not hate Alien 3. Aliens Resurrection is the best movie of the series. I watched it again. It was so great. It is the only one of the series that I can see myself watching again. I loved it. It's funny. It's dark. The concept is cool of grafting a Ripley clone with alien DNA. The alien swimming sequences are crazy. The entire cast of The City of Lost Children is there. Winona Ryder is just like there. I highly recommend Alien Resurrection again. Prometheus was fucking stupid. And so was Covenant. I cannot believe that these people can't follow basic protocol when they're dealing with biohazards. You know, in the first one, it made sense why the protocol was violated because of the programming of the artificial human. But in Prometheus and Covenant, it was just like, I don't care to follow protocol dealing with alien biohazards because my lover is in danger. I did not watch the Aliens versus Predator movies. I will do it. I will do it. Well, Predator, easy to rank. Predator 2 is number 1. Predator 1 is number 2. And inexplicably, the one with Adrian Brody is probably the third best one. Oh, wait, no, Prey. I liked the Native American one. Okay.
It's kind of crazy that we're supposed to get 2 new Predator movies next year.
Might be too much of a good thing. We'll see. But anyway, that's it. I watched 6 Alien movies.
You have a Silent Mandible pleading with you not to watch Alien versus Predator Requiem. That's
just too many words. There's
and they're long words. That doesn't help either.
There are too many colons in that. If you have more than one colon, seek help.
Oh, man. So my last week, I don't know if I was just gearing up for the week necessarily, but I watched 2 very depressing romantic films. My weekly watch with my mom and my wife, we sat down with Joan Micklin Silver's Chilly Scenes of Winter. First time I've seen it. That movie is a fucking masterpiece. The dialogue in that film is so great. Like, John Hurt is always amazing, but the way that movie was written is so just genuine and unique. And the split timelines that they go through for some of the flashbacks and how he's feeling and the breaking the fourth wall, really, really great. So glad to be able to pop open that Criterion finally. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. The team behind it, you could tell, just gelled together.
You know, I wish they had made Prometheus. Be much better.
The other movie I saw, I got to go to the theaters last Friday, and I will just add to the chorus of praise right now on Sean Baker's Anora. This is easily the favorite new film of the year that I saw. It was just stupendously written, incredibly acted by Mikey Madison. I genuinely hope she gets the Best Actress Oscar. What's crazy, and I do want to point out, it's kind of hard to say I hope she gets the Best Actress Oscar, because like women this year have put on some incredible performances, and not a single male lead performance have made me say, damn, he deserves to win. But there's like 6 or 7 female performances that I could see being remembered as the best of the year, which is amazing to see. But yeah, Mikey Madison was great. Anora, please go see it in a theater. The sound, the visuals in this, it is, in my opinion, I got to see it once or twice more, but probably Sean Baker's best film so far. You can tell it's incredibly personal with how much he's been in New York for his life, but the way that he approaches things with true cinema verite and getting like true people on the street to film something with Mikey Madison, and after it goes well, then approach them and say, hey, do you mind having that be in a movie? Is just such a genuine way to get these films done with real people. And it's beautiful. Love it. Hope everybody can see it, because it's the best of the year by a long shot.
Yep. Can't wait to see it.
Like you're going to say something.
I have to admit, some of the jokes that I would have made, I just don't feel in my heart like making.
I completely understand.
You know, like when you're happy, there's a certain kind of joke you can make, and when you're sad, there's a certain kind of joke you can make. And I'm not exactly sure where I am emotionally. I will not be punching down, unless by down you mean pasty, weak, whiny bitch, soft, nepotistic rich boys. That would be punching down, I suppose.
Well, if you want to punch down at that, Anora is a great film to watch, because you will enjoy watching the everything just fall apart.
Oh, you know what? You know what I do like? Seeing rich, entitled bitch boys get their comeuppance.
Good.
Does any of that happen?
Of course. Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet.
But also not enough. But it's still worth watching.
Never enough. It's never enough.
Pickups. What have you been getting to your house here lately?
Well, my car broke down. My refrigerator broke. Our oven broke. Our landlord sent over a guy to do some landscaping, and they left a gate open that we didn't know about. So our dog got out and got in a fight with another dog. So that was some vet bills. The other dog lived, which is kind of amazing because our dog is a monster bred to kill. So I didn't pick up that much. But that being said, oh shoot, I forgot something. Well, that's okay. I did get a couple things that I'm pretty excited about. Long ago, I did a pre-order from Fun City, and I got the slips for Paradise and Heavenly Bodies, one of the hottest things to come out of Canada, and Bad Company. Nice. So all of those are exciting. I did pick up, I forgot them in the other room, but I did pick up a couple of Criterion titles. Repo Man 4K, Bound 4K. Pretty happy with those. And then just today, this is a near live unboxing, so I just opened these before the show started. This is actually your fault. I wasn't going to do this. And then you messaged me a couple weeks ago and were like, in 3 minutes, check out Neon Eagle's website. And so I picked up I Want to Get Even. And when I went to get I Want to Get Even, I saw that they had replenished stock of the limited edition of Ninja Terminator, which I don't need. I have no need for. But I have it. And I'm excited to watch not just Ninja Terminator, but also the uninvited guest of the Star Fairy, which definitely sounds like a dream I had. Or a Deaf Crocodile title.
Man, you know, speaking of that, everybody's talking about getting the next 3 in. I'm so excited to get Trapped Ashes and The Outcast and Tamala in, and yeah, I can't wait to see those get shipped. I usually don't share too many, but there's kind of a lot here that I don't get to talk about a lot, so I wanted to. Oscilloscope's newest title from their subscription, Once Within a Time, is here. This is an experimental film. Once again, they included a little gift with it. It's this little holographic card that's not showing up super well on here, but there it is. Next, one that Will loves to not be super enthused about, the newest Kevin Smith film in 4K, the 430 movie.
Oh, I didn't even know that happened.
The only way to get it in 4K is in this Lionsgate Steelbook that looks like a VHS on the inside. And some cool things about it is they went all out on that. But the back, these little circles are debossed to feel like a VHS. And then if you're super into like limited editions, on the inside of the Steelbook, let's see if I can get the glare off of it, it says first pressing. So you can be extra proud of having the first edition of the Steelbook that they'll probably print 12,000 of. Can't wait to watch that.
I don't hate Kevin Smith. He seems like a good guy.
He does.
Just not a good filmmaker.
Newest thing, I'm sure many of you got, and I was not going to get this until it was still available a couple days later. The brand new 4K.
Oh, you got yours?
Treat. Yes, sir.
Mine shipped. I ordered from Orbit because I support.
I was at a pumpkin patch with my children that day. Yeah. So it sold out before I could get to it on Orbit. But nice book that comes in here. Poster. It's just nice to see a good release of this film. Eager to check it out. And then the last two things have not shown a Radiance pickup in quite some time. This may be one of the things I've been most excited about this year. The Daiei Gothic set, 3 different films in this. Nice big book. Great looking box. But I happened to notice that when both of these came in 2 days, and I know we joked about this packaging theft over the, I think it was last last December at this point, maybe. But I just happened to notice how identical this 88 Films Japanarchy release looks to Radiance when you put it right next to each other. I won this in a raffle and got this in this week. And yeah, was not planning on picking this up, but here it is, identical to Radiance.
Well,
yeah.
What can we make of this?
We got a shit ton of announcements to cover. Anything else you want to go into before we start there?
Well, if it's anything like Tuesday, we'll go through about 30 minutes of enthusiasm, and then we'll just slowly lose interest. So let's start with the good stuff.
Well, let's start with the good stuff. Reminder to everybody that last week during the show, the Criterion sale went live. This is the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale. It is 50% off of everything, including what comes out this month. You can get those online or in store, and this ends on December 2nd.
We should mention that in addition to behemoth companies like Barnes & Noble, if you would like to support incredibly brave, incredibly bald, incredibly alone men like Jeff Bezos, Amazon is price matching.
This is true. Let's go into the real announcements, because OCN started launching stuff for their Black Friday sale and also partner labels for the month of November.
Snap, so we're starting with Vinegar Syndrome and OCN?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is the VSU coming as part of the Black Friday sale, and that is a 4K release of Congo from 1995. It's Congo. How do you feel about Congo there, Will?
I've been saying why no 4K for years. Congo. It's got Bruce Campbell for like a scene. It's got it's awful. But here it is. And yeah, Ernie Hudson. It's got a great cast. Freaking Dr. Frankenfurter's in it. Actually, it would have been awesome as Frankenfurter.
in the jungle wearing fishnets.
Yeah. It's like so dominant.
This is not the type of comment that we get every week. Sibner just said, I went on a date with Julia Stiles to see Congo, and I still hated Congo.
Save the last Congo.
Would you say that you were not a swim fan?
Yeah, there's not much to say about Congo. If you've seen it, then you know. And if you haven't seen it, that's a lot of money.
Terry says I could finally upgrade the DVD but
right.
Oh, you sound like all the Facebook comments. That being said, this is historically not known for being a great movie, but a lot of extras on this. Commentary with Kelly Goodner and Jim Hemphill. We've got a looking back at the creation of Congo's gorilla, new making of Doc with Stan Winston studio crew. That's pretty rad.
And this is someone's favorite movie, and it's okay to laugh at the movie and shit on it a little bit. I'm glad that it's gotten anything that gets released. I'm glad mostly. I think what I just said is not true. But I am I like when they announced Congo, I was like, okay, not for me, but I'm glad that happened.
Stan says I met Richard Simmons outside the theater before seeing Congo and it still sucked. That's rather funny. Sibner just corrected me. I totally thought that Julia Stiles was the one in Swim Fan. Whoops.
I didn't know what the hell you were talking about, but I hadn't seen Swim Fan, so I was like, isn't that the one with Halle Berry and her boobs?
I'm not understanding that reference. But Swim Fan was good.
I thought there was like some controversially erotic scene with Halle Berry. Is she even in that movie? Is that John?
No, she's not. No, oh God,
What
is the
movie
name
are
of
you
that
talking
movie?
about?
Swordfish. That's what.
I'm talking about Swordfish.
Yeah. That's the one with Travolta. That's hilarious.
But if you were a fan of swimming, you could encounter a swordfish.
True.
So you can see how I made the error.
Yes. This one has a book with essays by Simon Abrams, Matt Singer, and Justin LaLiberty. Check it out. VSUs do pretty well. I'm not going to say like it's about to sell out or anything, but this is one of those ones that if you want it, check it out.
You know, it would be a good double feature with Congo.
Operation Dumbo Drop.
Swordfish. Operation Dumbo Drop. Hey, you know what is a good? You know what is a good elephant movie that people? I'd like to see this in 4K. Larger Than Life. Bill Murray and Janine Garofalo with an elephant.
Man,
the 90s were great, dude. At some point in the 90s, movie executives were like, Bill Murray, Janine Garofalo, elephant, boom, make it. And it's pretty good. I like Larger Than Life. I remember
it not being bad. Yeah. Next up, coming as part of your subscription, if you're a Vinegar Syndrome subscriber, the long-awaited Looking for Mr. Goodbar from 1977 is getting a 4K Blu-ray 2-disc set. And here it is in all its glory, finally coming. This is brand new. Going to have a Dolby Vision HDR grade on this. Commentary track with Gillian Wallace, Horvath, and Richard Brooks, and the making of Looking for Mr. Goodbar. 23 minutes. Lots of stuff coming on this. We've got 40-page book with Elizabeth Purcell, great writer, going to be a part of that. This is a big deal.
Yeah, long way. Now, I've never seen this, and I'm going to ask an ignorant question. Does it have anything to do with the candy?
No, it does not.
All my life, I've thought, like, what is this movie about Mr. Goodbars?
Yeah, I will say the Vid 54 says Goodbar has an ending almost as bad as the election. I will say this is a very mean-spirited movie. This is going to be one a lot of people check out and are surprised by for good and bad reasons. But very excited that this is getting an HD release finally. And Will is losing his damn mind on his camera. Gary says, Goodbar finally. They said it would never happen because of all the rights to the disco songs. Speaking of that, I wanted to start getting people excited. I don't remember if I mentioned this last week. This is a big deal. I got an interview with Joe Rubin from Vinegar Syndrome, one of the owners. Finally got that to happen. We will be releasing that on Friday, Black Friday itself. And we go into all the titles that are being announced and discuss what happened for Looking for Mr. Goodbar and all kinds of crazy stuff. You're going to love it. Check that out after the sale goes live, after you go to sleep late that night. And I think you'll be excited by it.
And the issue for years and years has been the music rights, right?
Yeah, there's very popular disco songs in this.
Ah, well, worth the wait.
Next up, one of the other titles for Vinegar Syndrome is Blood Tracks from 1985. Nice heavy metal, snowy slasher. Some adjectives you don't usually get together. This one has this has a commentary with the one and only Amanda Reyes and film historian Rickard Gramfors and special features producer Ewan Cant. We got an interview with the actor Jeff Harding, interview with Naomi Kaneda, interview with Harriet Robinson, interview with Frederick Offrein. There's all kinds of stuff that happened for this. Ewan was able to do quite a few of these things and even sign this film in England himself. Went over and found the person that had the rights, got it all done. This is going to be a big release. I think some people were guessing this right before the announcement was made, but this is cool.
You know what I think? You have to say what?
Oh, what do you think?
Well, now the timing's off. You know what I think?
Sure. What do you think, Will?
Ewan can.
Yeah, I mean he's a British citizen, so he can.
Well, he can.
The next title that they announced was their VSP, and that is Black-Eyed Susan, a film by Scooter McCrae. This is supposedly really great, actually. Just played at Fantastic Fest, I think. Shot entirely on film, finished in 4K. We got a commentary with Scooter. We got a group commentary with a bunch of people from the film, some interviews. This is one of those that Vinegar Syndrome had a hand in producing, which is why it's in the VSP. We've got some short films on here. This looks to be a pretty great set if you're wanting this.
Scooter McCrae is cool.
Did you watch the video that they posted from Vinegar Syndrome with Scooter in it?
No, I haven't seen that.
They posted like a 4-minute video of him geeking out over everything in the archive. It was pretty great.
Oh, nice. I'll watch that for sure.
Speaking of that, if anybody did not see it,
Yes.
they posted a long video with Oscar, the archivist at Vinegar Syndrome, literally singing about how we are able to get the next title that we're going to talk about, which is Cannibal the Musical. We've known this obviously for a while. This was announced previously. However,
I didn't know this. This was a surprise for me.
You got to pay attention on the weeks you're not here, sir.
Oh, I don't ever watch.
I know, believe me.
I do.
I know, that was the joke. Come on, you ruined the facade.
Your jokes are weird.
There are so many extras on this. It's a great looking release. Can't really argue with it. Bunch of new interviews, commentaries. They've got the legendary drunk commentary that Trey Parker and Matt Stone did on this. There's even an essay by Walt Chaw on Cannibal the Musical, which is crazy.
Oh, I love Cannibal the Musical. This was a very exciting announcement. I'm glad I was surprised. I'm glad I didn't listen. Now there's only one Trauma licensed movie that I'm waiting on. But I'm going to talk about it in December.
Okay.
On December, just so you know, in December, I'm going to share DVD releases that I am wishing into existence for 2025, 2026, because my wishes went so well this year. Like, honestly, now that I say this out loud, I realize I should have wished for a different outcome on Tuesday, because I didn't think I needed to wish, and all my wishes have been coming true all year, and then I forget to use my power for good.
It has been a crazy, just even last 6 months of announcements of titles that people thought would never, ever be released. And now, like, I have Gummo on 4K about 8 inches from me right now. I've got Happiness on 4K right here.
Neither of which were on my list, but okay.
There's things that have never had an HD release. That's a pretty big deal.
I know. It's just like you named the 2 most uncomfortable movies that were released this year.
A lot of people love those. And,
I know.
I'm very happy to have Gummo. Happiness, like, I love it and I get it, but yeah, Gummo is definitely on mine though.
Happiness doesn't have a lot of rewatchability for me. I will eventually get it and watch it like again. But like I don't see myself like sitting down on a Friday night with like a couple of brews and be like, oh man, you know what I want to watch? Happiness. Hey kids.
I was about to say it's one to watch with your family.
Come watch a movie with Dad.
Let's spread some happiness. So Cannibal the Musical is part of the De Gausser line. This will be available during the Black Friday sale. However, you can pre-order it now. And yeah, it's exciting.
I gotta say, great Stan Brakhage cameo. I think Cannibal and Orgasmo are probably my favorite things that Trey Parker and Matt Stone made. And that's not a slam on South Park. I just think these 2 early movies were absolutely amazing.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
And they're free of cynicism. Like, if I have any criticism of South Park, especially in the later years, it's the cynicism. But Cannibal and Orgasmo are absolutely joyful, while also being incredibly inappropriate.
Orgasmo's funny as hell.
Oh my God. And
all right,
Shudder Boy.
Cannibal the Musical, because it's coming as the Degasser line. They're also doing that special VHS that lights up, so you can get that as well. And yeah,
I used to have this on VHS.
nice. The next thing, Distribpix has announced Ron Sullivan, The Early Years. This is their next release, and you can pre-order this now. This is available on Melusine and the Vinegar Syndrome site. This will be region-free, and it includes Lust Weekend and the Bizarre Ones and Scorpio 70. This is going to be a hell of a set. We got a bunch of archival interviews. We've got some original theatrical trailers. We've got audio interview with Ron Sullivan and adult film historian Ashley West that was on the Rialto Report. This looks like a really pretty great release, actually.
A little trivia for people who didn't know. Scorpio 70's original shooting title was Scorpio 17, and it was about a centipedo file.
Sibner says it's giving me Human Centipede vibes, so that was perfect.
I thought that was pretty good.
Can I see Scorpio 70 if I haven't seen Scorpio 1 through 69?
Nice.
You should probably see at least parts 4 and 17 for a little bit of context. All right. Then we got a whole shit ton of partner label announcements. Our first one here is 20,000 Species of Bees coming from Film Movement. This is our slipcover here. This one sounds incredible. It says, in a small sleepy village in the Basque County, a sculptor named Anne and her 3 children arrive at her mother Lita's home for summer vacation, where they are surrounded by extended family and nosy neighbors. Anne and her mother's relationship is strained. Lita disapproves of her daughter's frayed marriage, career as an artist, and the way she parents her obstinate and mischievous children. Chief among them is 8-year-old Aitor, nicknamed Coco. After it becomes clear that being referred to by the name of Aitor, or Aitor, however you say it, elicits feelings of distress in the child, born biologically male, neither birth name nor the genderless nickname feel quite right, and Anne's concern for her child grows as Coco becomes more withdrawn. The child's only respite lies in the Basque Hills, where Anne's aunt Lourdes tends to the family's beekeeping farm. Among the peaceful humming of bees and Lourdes' open-minded guardianship, Coco slowly begins to confide in family and friends, her discomfort in her body, eventually voicing a desire to be treated as a girl. As Coco explores her own developing identity over the summer, Anne and the rest of her family in turn must learn to accept the child as she is. This is going to be region-free and has a bonus short film on there and looks fantastic.
I watched the trailer and the cinematography was gorgeous. So I'm pretty excited to see this. And I hope this movie gets seen. I think a lot of people need to see movies like this.
Beyond that, one thing to point out about this, if you are after slips, for some reason, there are 3 titles this month from the OCN partner labels that only got 500 slips. This is one of them, but that's the smallest print run that we've seen yet for any of these titles. There are still some left of this one, but it is on the lower end. So if you were wanting it, you may want to check it out sooner than later.
20,000 bees, 500 slips.
Wow. Adam Green's Aladdin from 2016 is getting a release through Cartoona, which is amazing. So glad this is getting a release. Heard a lot about this one. It says it's a hypersensory, poetic, and humorously modern take on the Arabian Nights classic tale. In this, you've got Adam Green, Elia Shawkat, Natasha Lyonne, Macaulay Culkin, Jack Dishel, Francesco Clemente, Nicole Liberty, and Bip Ling. This has behind-the-scenes doc, some outtakes, trailer, cut lines, some music videos, Kickstarter promo, and all kinds of other stuff. But yeah, glad this is coming out. Love Adam Green. This looks really fun. Frozen and Hatchet and
I liked Frozen. That's the one with the ski lift.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
He is the Holliston and Joe Lynch guy.
Right. The Hatchet movies. Yeah, I saw those. The Victor Crowley one with Tiffany Shepis, underused in my opinion, but great death scene by Felissa Rose.
This is true.
I was just listening to a great older episode of Casualty Friday on my commute home, in which Kane Hodder and Tiffany Shepis and Felissa Rose interview Bill Moseley, and he tells the story of how he got into the business, how he got his SAG card, and it was a great interview. I highly. So I'm weird. Like anytime somebody, maybe I'm not weird. Maybe other people do this too. But anytime somebody recommends a podcast or something, I'll listen to an episode, and if I like it, I then must go all the way back to the beginning and listen to every single episode sequentially. So I'm in like 2019 of Casualty Friday, and I'm on like season 1 of You Must Remember This, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So turns out the comment we just got, this is a different Adam Green. God dang it. This is not the guy that we just started talking about. Yeah, this is completely unrelated.
Oh, fuck this guy. Get your own name. I'm sure this Adam Green's pretty great.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, you ever Google yourself to find out who else has your name?
No, because like nobody has my last name.
Well, I've got a really good collegiate golfer and a homophobic pastor in Texas. There's 3 of us.
Yeah, we got a comment here from Reservoir Fella 88. Don't you hate it when the VS partner labels movie pages don't have a trailer on the page?
I do.
I hate that so much.
I also think that in this particular case, they should distinguish their Adam Greens.
I fully agree.
Like,
and Ryan wants to show to you that he's got 5 years of episodes so that you can.
Oh, I know. I've started as well. We'll talk about that. It should be Adam Green's, not that one, Aladdin.
Not that Adam Green's Aladdin.
Or I should say not that one twice. Adam Green's, not that Adam Green's, Aladdin, not that Aladdin.
Craig says, my name has been murdered or been the murderer several times recently. That's hilarious.
Well, do we has anyone in the chat had time to find out? Okay, thank you. I was just about Z-Pam.
It looks like he
Adam Green is a musician. What kind of musician?
He directed a music video for Father John Misty.
Oh, fuck. Well, hopefully that was just for the paycheck.
Yes, trailers are not cheap.
I know a guy will do them pretty cheap for you. So this Adam Green's a musician. I wonder what kind of, I want to say jazz fusion.
With the Father John Misty, I can see that.
I'm sure that Father John Misty and I agree on a lot of things. I just feel like, I'm insufferable in many ways, but I feel like he's insufferable in ways that are different than me, and I don't like him. This is Father John Misty, not Adam Green. We're staying until we figure out who Adam Green is. He's a folk
Z-Pam says it's anti-folk music.
Anti-folk music. Well, that's metal.
He was in the Moldy Peaches.
Oh, okay. I like Moldy Peaches. Moving on.
Quick, before we go down another rabbit hole.
Check it out.
Decanalog releasing the Adult Swim Yule Log, which
what is this? I don't know what this is. Tell me about it.
Okay, so this is something that they played on Cartoon Network that started as a Yule log and devolves into a horror movie.
So how long do you have to watch the Yule log before it gets to the movie?
It's a little longer than you would like, but enough to be a little uncomfortable. The whole thing is great. This is so worth it. I also love that in the extras on this, it says Yule log in parentheses for real this time. And then the fact that this is a Yule log film, we have 2 feature-length audio commentaries with the cast and crew. That's hilarious.
I wish one of them was on the real Yule log.
So in this scene, the crackling was done by. We also have a booklet with an essay by Grady frickin' Hendrix on this, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I've heard of him. I've read a couple of his books.
Yes.
You know what I liked? He did one about IKEA. Horror Stir. It has the dots over the O.
Yes.
It's a haunted IKEA. And the book has all these like catalog descriptions of products that are supernatural. I recommend it.
Yeah. Let's see. Dustin says, I'm behind, but I go back to that Congo cover. Why is there a sperm swimming into the gorilla's eye?
You know why.
Let's see. Father John Misty has an amazing album coming out, says Aaron.
Yeah, I don't want to shit on like fans of Father John Misty. I know he's very popular and cool.
Silent Manuel says, "Oh, we got a book reader over here, dude."
Well, it's got a lot of pictures.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, let's go to our next one.
It's good. It's good to laugh, isn't it, Ryan?
It really is.
We need to do this.
Before we go, though, this has a special edition limited spot gloss lenticular slipcover, so you know that'll be worth at least $4 in the coming years. But the bigger thing, I love the fact that an Adult Swim, like, weirdo horror movie that was shown at like 2 o'clock in the morning is getting a physical media release, and that gives me hope that somebody could get Too Many Cooks, and that's exciting.
Or maybe William Wyler's Wuthering Heights.
That is possible. Yeah, and this indicates that that's possible.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in Cartoon Network at times. Late night Cartoon Network. When I'm with you, I feel like I'm in late night Cartoon Network. Anyway. Oh, man. Speaking of Yule logs.
Film Movement this month is releasing Bent from 1997. Here's our slipcover. This one is starring Clive Owen, Mick Jagger, Ian McKellen, Nicolas Coster-Waldau, Jude Law, Rachel Weisz.
Say that again.
Nicolas Coster-Waldau. Did I erase all of the accent there enough for you?
Thank you.
Paul Bettany. This one says, in 1930s Berlin, Max sleeps with German SA officer Wolf, only to see him killed by his fellow Nazis the next morning as part of the Night of the Long Knives. Refusing an offer of new papers from his uncle Freddie for fear of leaving his boyfriend Rudy behind, Max and Rudy are found by the Gestapo, to whom Max lies about his homosexuality and his relationship with Rudy. Bound for the Dachau concentration camp, Max will have to reckon with his identity and his dignity in the face of terrible persecution. This has cast and crew interviews, Mick Jagger music video, Streets of Berlin, behind-the-scenes footage, and a new essay for this one.
This is a great movie, legit. Maybe great to a lot, but I think it's good.
This is one I need to see.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Sam. I know you're from the UK. I was just playing it up. Factory 25 this month. Better Than Something. Jay Reatard. This is from 2012. This is a documentary. Have you seen this?
I have not, but I'm familiar with Jay's work and Tragically Short Life.
Yeah.
The 90s were the best decade. I'm very excited to see this. Continue with your description.
This is a documentary that I've wanted to see for a long time, and it seems like something that you would have seen, which is why I leaned into it. I had hoped that you had. I've heard great things about this. Yeah, Tragically Short Life. Deleted scenes. We got 2024 interviews with the cast, film and deleted scenes commentary tracks by a couple people, 32-page booklet with some essays in it. this is one that if you're a music fan, I feel like a lot of people probably already picked this up. Yeah.
I should hope.
Next one is Yellow Veil putting out The Book of Birdie from 2017. This says Birdie is a fragile and introverted teenager with a dark imagination. When her worried grandmother sends her to a dying convent, Birdie develops unusual obsessions that will mark her as either a saint or a heretic.
Oh, there we go.
We got an intro on this. We've got small featurettes. We got some commentaries like the More Deadly podcast with Elizabeth E. Schuch and Rachel and Ariel from the More Deadly podcast. Some interviews, visual essay on the design of the Book of Birdie, and then a whole bunch of deleted scenes, trailers, featurettes, all that kind of stuff, including a little booklet with essays from Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, Valeria Villegas Lindvall, and director's notes and writer's notes.
You know, say what you will about the Catholics.
There's a lot to say.
They got the best horror movies. No question. No question. Catholics have the best horror movies.
Is that your main style of horror that you love? Is religious supernatural?
No, but if you, I mean, like, you gonna what? You gonna watch a Lutheran horror movie? There's
why does it have to be a religious horror movie?
Well, I'm just saying, of the religious horror movie strains, Catholics are the best.
I imagine once we start getting Mormons pumping out horror movies, it's going to be pretty bad.
Well, that's like, I mean, you know, they don't, you know, it'd be like,
ooh, we own most of Hawaii.
Haunted underwear, you know. But the Catholics got the possession, the demons, the sexual repression, the good art, you know?
It's true.
Baptist horror movies are just slashers, backwoods slashers. You know what I mean? Like I think I made the only Quaker horror movie.
As Simider says, Will has clearly never seen enough Amish horror.
I thought, you know, a Deadly Blessing and the, I guess, does Children of the Corn count? I'm just saying. Well, and you know what it is? It's because of the Catholics are so weird about masturbation.
Yeah.
You know, like the priests are like, tell me about it, you know, and then things just get.
Brendan says a Mormon horror movie. Oh no, someone drank iced tea.
I know, right? Like that, like this religion, like if if you like believe it, then you believe that you drink wine and it turns into blood, and you eat a piece of cracker and it turns into flesh. Like it just, like, all the horror is built into it.
That's pretty metal.
Hell yeah. Like, you know, if it wasn't for their like global systematic theft of lands from indigenous people, their institutionalized misogyny and homophobia, and their institutionalized pedophilia and cover-ups, if it weren't for those things, I would say Catholicism is the best religion.
On that note,
but because of those things, I have to say, it's like bottom 5. Bottom 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next title, which is the next one from Saturn's Core Audio and Video. This is Fatal Delusion from 1995.
Speaking of Catholics.
So many people bought this just for the back of the slipcover. There it is. Don't want to get pulled down off of YouTube.
Everybody's going to have to confess about seeing this now. Father, I have a fatal delusion.
So this one, it says it presents a staggering analog panorama of bathtub autopsies, chainsaw disembowelings, incessant shower scenes, puffy neon fashions, and entrail toilet flushing.
Sold.
Sold.
A copy will be purchased in the morning.
New transfer from the original SVHS master tapes, commentary with Wave founder Gary Whitson and a couple of our actresses, moderated by Ross Snyder from Saturn's Core, friend of the channel. Commentary with Richard Mogg, author of Analog Nightmares. That's pretty rad. New interview with some of the actresses. Extended Tina Kraus death sequence. We've got early archival interview with Tina Kraus discussing The Shrink, which later became Fatal Delusion. And then, of course, in classic Saturn's Core fashion, there's a bonus movie called Virgin Sacrifices from 96. This is Gary Whitson's demonic sacrifice mud wrestling epic featuring Fatal Delusion stars Tina Kraus, Deanna Demko, Laura Giglio, Don Murphy, and Sal Longo.
I want to highlight Jack Kane's comment because I'm impressed. That's an impressive amount of hours. And also
yes, Fatal Delusion is Brat.
Yes, oh, that's what I was gonna say. Good, that's a good joke.
Oh man,
way to go, Saturn's Core. This is and also all companies should look at the way Saturn's Core rates their copy.
It's pretty good.
That's good stuff. And it's not extraneous. You know, it's direct, it's to the point, but at the same time, it's very evocative.
It's true. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
This looks like a solid release. Glad they're doing it. Next up is the Film Desk with Have a Nice Life from 2021. This one's important because it's close to home for Will. This says, on two sides of Durham, North Carolina, are two very different women. Jyothi, an Indian housewife in an arranged marriage, and Sophie, an unemployed stoner musician. After they both hit dead ends in life, they meet by chance at a pawn shop and soon find themselves on the run from the law, together on a wild, surreal American road trip to French Canada. This has an audio commentary, behind-the-scenes teaser, some featurettes, and this sounds pretty good.
Knowing Durham as I do, that could be a documentary.
Very well, maybe.
To answer Sibner's question, there is absolutely nothing arranged about my marriage at any point.
I think it's because I said it hit close to home. What I was getting at is Will met his wife in a pawn shop, and she's Indian.
She's Irish in every way you can imagine.
When she met you, was her last name Oh No? That was dumb. Let's keep going. Umbrella putting out a U.S. release of Hercules Returns, a film that they have also released in Australia. Should be the exact same disc, basically, I think. This is the North American premiere of the 2023 restoration that they did. Includes the English dub of the original Italian film Samson and His Mighty Challenge. I've never been able to see this, but I know this was a big one for a lot of people into Mystery Science Theater 3000. How do you feel about this? I'm sure you've seen this one.
Yeah, is that Jason sequel? That's funny. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember the episode of Mystery Science Theater, but I definitely saw it at some point. But I also always like to see the movies uncut too. So I'm glad this is getting released. Right?
Important, yeah.
This was on Mystery Science Theater, right?
I believe so.
I don't think it was. I think you're full of it.
Okay. Never mind.
Was it?
I don't know. I'll just click away and screw up again. I may be wrong. I completely thought it was. The next title is a
Hercules
reprint.
Unchained. Who was on? This is different. This is like Mystery. Go back. This is like Mystery Science Theater because it's they do a dub.
Got it.
Yeah. No, it still looks funny, but it has the added benefit of Australian accents. I'm assuming. Like Australians, I love their accents.
It's pretty good.
You know?
That if I had one when I just made that joke a minute ago, I would have said when she met you was her name Onar.
Nar.
Did I rescue the stupid joke
No,
finally?
that was pretty good.
All right. Next one. Canadian International is releasing a new slipcover for Hitman Heart Wrestling with Shadows. Personally, I think this slip is way better than the first one, which wasn't bad. This is just really fitting of Bret Hart. Especially, I love the back. It's simple, but that's pretty rad. Great doc. So glad they put this out. The the Owen Hart doc on this is also rather good. Did you watch this one? Nah.
I will though.
I love that Key Ray's laughing at my Australian. Let's see. All right. Next title. I Am Santa Claus. This is from Enjoy the Ride Records. This is from 2014. Had a lot of people tell me they've been wanting a proper release of this one. This has Mick Foley in it. Also has Jerry Lawler and Roddy Piper. We got an audio commentary from the director and Mick Foley. New interviews with the Santas involved in this. Film threat watch party, some extended deleted scenes, new Mick Foley content, behind the scenes, never before seen footage of the Santas. This looks pretty great. I imagine Chris Silvestri on Facebook is buying this, and he's probably putting out comments that he's already bought it. Can't wait to hear about it.
2 wrestling docs in a row.
It's a big deal.
I gotta say, so the reason I haven't seen the Hitman Heart yet is because I'm not really a wrestling guy.
Neither am I, but it landed.
But I know who he is and everything. I actually have a copy because I've pretty much the complete CIP. And I'm really interested in this. Mick Foley, good guy. That's it. He's a good guy.
Okay.
Mick Foley, we like Mick Foley.
There he is. Chris says, hell yeah, thank you for this one. I'll let Ross know personally you said thank you. Next title is from Connie, and they are doing Moral from 1982. This one says 4 best friends are graduating from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Their paths diverging in significant, if inevitable, ways. Joey bounces from lover to lover, couch to couch. Kathy, a mediocre singer, is intent on making it at all costs. Sylvia separates from her husband while he sets up house with another man. Marites gets married and sees her life reduced to the role of mother and housewife. Over the course of 3 years, the life of 4 friends intersects at the vanguard of wider societal changes. This has a 2K restoration, some interviews, a featurette about the restoration, which I always love to see. Book with new writing by Jason Tan Liwag, and then new cover art. This sounds pretty great, but Connie stuff is always pretty damn good.
Until Connie started up, the only Filipino movies I'd seen were directed by Cirio Santiago. And so I'm so grateful. This stuff is amazing.
Key says, I bought all the Filipino films on Connie. Love Filipino cinema. Nice.
No, and to be clear, love Cirio Santiago. But they're not really about Filipino people, right?
Right.
And this is a definite pickup for me. If I ever get all my stuff fixed. Oh, and this one is too. Let's talk about it. This one has a trailer.
Big World Pictures is The Owners from 2019, and I love the way you speak on this, so I can't wait to hear you say stuff. This has other trailers for films from Big World Pictures and subtitles, and that's it. So tell us why this looks so exciting.
Exciting might not be the right word, because it's about a co-op. Yeah, it's about a co-op trying to make decisions. And even if you've never had to deal with a co-op or HOA or anything like that, just if you've ever had to make decisions with a group, this is the most hilariously frustrating film. And I haven't seen the whole thing yet, so I cannot wait to watch it. Just watching the trailer was so frustrating that I don't think I could handle extras. I think you just have to let this movie happen to you.
Let it roll over. I want to point out, too, that the owner of Big World Pictures commented on my post and said,
oh my God,
just in time for the U.S. election, smiley face / sad face.
That's like that's actually, you know what? That's correct. That's correct. I cannot. This actually might be. This is one of like a couple of titles that are my most anticipated from the Oceans.
I want to point out too that I had a friend of mine that lived in a suburb here in Kansas City that was literally ran out of his neighborhood by his HOA because he and his wife wanted to open a free food pantry in their front yard. And the HOA took lots of offense to that.
Oh, because of home insecure people in the neighborhood?
No, there wasn't any.
Oh.
They just wanted to be kind in case somebody wanted to do it and they wanted a safe place to be able to get food.
Gotcha. Let me tell you, somebody down the street from me likes to do wild yard, you know what I mean, where they don't mow their lawn. They say it's
right
for the environment or whatever. And they hired some company that brings goats over, and they put a fence in your yard and then let goats like wander around eating your foliage. And I walked by and I was like, oh man, that's cool, man. Look at those goats. And day 3, the entire world stinks. Like I walk outside my house and I'm like gagging because these fucking goats. And I'm like, how long does it take? And how long will this linger? I actually think that's what the Cranberry song was about. About these hippies that hire goats to mow their lawn.
All right.
I have one of those push mowers, you know?
Yeah.
Like the old timey kind.
Yeah.
That you just have to like push it really fast.
No motor, you just push, yeah.
But if you have to push it fast,
yeah.
Otherwise it won't cut. And it works fine. And you know what? It doesn't smell like goat shit for a week. It's just, you just mow the lawn fast. You have no choice.
Well, enough about the owners. Let's get to maybe one of the most anticipated partner label titles this month. That is Red Rooms from 2023, coming from Utopia. This is one that was heavily hinted at, and a lot of people were really looking forward to. The synopsis on this one. What's that?
There's golems in this movie.
This one says, Kellyanne wakes up every morning by the courthouse to secure a seat at the high-profile trial of Ludovic Chevalier, a serial killer she is obsessed with. As days go by, the young woman bonds with another friendly groupie, which momentarily breaks her out of her loneliness. But as the proceedings drag on and she spends more and more time in the courtroom with the victims' families, Kellyanne finds it increasingly difficult to maintain her psychological balance and assume her morbid fixation with the killer. She will then do whatever it takes to get her hands on the final piece of the puzzle, the missing video of a murdered 13-year-old girl to whom Kellyanne bears a disturbing resemblance. It says an audio commentary with the director, some live shows in Quebec with Red Room's composer, and we got a trailer, behind the scenes, booklet with an essay, and again, very eager to see this one.
I gotta tell you, will you go back to the back
cover?
Slipcover? It looks like it stars Gollum, Sweet D, and John Grease. from the back of the slipcover. Like if you just look at the back of the slipcover, you're gonna think, oh, this looks. It's not that. It's not the movie you think it is.
Jim Tudor says, I like this new lawnmower talk format we got going.
Oh, seriously, we could do like a Letterkenny style home improvement show.
Oh man, with all the accents and everything.
I know nothing about this movie, but based on what you've said, I'm excited to see it.
Aaron, tune in for the physical releases. Stay for the goat crapping lawn mowing stories, and there should be a podcast about goat mowing adventures.
I didn't know that was a thing, but there was like I'm pointing, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, I'm pointing out my window because I feel like you want to know what direction this house is. I go around the corner and it stinks, and there's a trailer with an illustrated goat, and that's their business. They take goats around and you pay, and they hang out in your yard for several days. I didn't know that was a business.
Silent Manimal is asking about the cursor. Yes, that cursor is a part of the art. There it is, zoomed in for you to see it.
Intriguing.
Terry says, next week on the Farm Report, I say we just change the title to Free Connected, and we could talk about all kinds of things under that banner. Another big one, 2 months in a row that I'm ecstatic with Dark Star Pictures releasing. Reefer Madness, the movie musical from 2005, getting a Blu-ray release. This is based on the propaganda film from 36, stars Kristen Bell, Nev Campbell, Alan Cumming. No extras on this. The DVD had a bunch of extras, but unfortunately they could not carry them over to this. But this is a pretty big title for them to be able to license.
Yeah. I have not seen this either. I was aware of it. There's a great documentary about American exploitation movies called Schlock, The Secret History of American Film. And it begins with several scenes from the Reefer Madness stage play. And that made me really want to see this Kristen Bell, Nev Campbell version.
This did have a Blu-ray release before, but it was a BDR, and it did not get many printed. So this is kind of like the real release of this. Now that we're getting like a full pressed release, so this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another one, very highly anticipated for many people. This is the Shudder title for this month. Saloom, not sure how you say this one. Saloom. This is from 2021, and for many people, this was like top film of the year for them in 21 or 22, whichever year it premiered in the US. I think it was 22. This is a film that is, let's see, you're going to have an audio commentary with the writer-director and a booklet with new writing by Madeline Sutton, but the film itself sounds great. It says, shot down after fleeing a coup and extracting a drug lord from Guinea-Bissau, the legendary mercenaries known as the Bangui Hyenas must stash their stolen gold bounty, lay low long enough to repair and refuel their plane, and escape back to Dakar, Senegal. When they take refuge at a holiday camp in the coastal region of Sain Saloum, they do their best to blend in with their fellow guests, but one hyena is hiding a dark secret. He has brought them there for a reason, and once his past catches up to him, his decisions have devastating consequences, threatening to unleash hell on them all.
So I watched this on Shudder last week.
Amazing.
After the announcement. Oof. And that's a good oof. Just in case you're listening on the podcast and not watching my face on the YouTubes. It was intense. I cannot say anything about it because the spoilers would not be good. It's devastating. It's intense. It definitely deserves to be seen. If you need to preview it before getting the physical copy, do so. But this one definitely has rewatchability. I'm very interested in the commentary. So this was one that I previewed and was very excited to add to my wish list.
Amazing.
Yeah, quite good.
Glad to hear you watched it. Next one was a big one. This one, I believe, sold out very quickly again. AGFA putting out Santa Claus Conquers the Martians and Other Holiday Hallucinations.
Wait, is it sold out? Sold out?
I think the standard was sold out. I mean, it'll be back if it is. Let me see. Yeah, fully out of stock. It'll be back, obviously.
Slipless.
Yes, yeah. This sold out in literally just a couple hours. This one is one of those something weird compilations that they love to put out. It is going to be coming with Santa Claus Conquers the Martians Roadshow version, preserved from Something Weird 16mm print. Santa Claus Conquers the Drive-In, which is an hour long. preserved from Something Weird's SVHS masters, and then a whole bunch of Christmas shorts. This is going to be a big release for people that love stuff like this for the next month.
Oh man, I love Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. I saw it on VHS and then saw it on Mystery Science Theater. Fun. But I haven't seen these other shorts, and I really, really want to.
Sorry you missed it. Then Film Movement putting out Violent Cop and Boiling Point. I believe these already had Film Movement releases. They're just doing one of their slipcover releases for the same film.
I'm torn on this because I already have Boiling Point, but I could buy this for the same price as Violent Cop.
Oh,
essentially.
that's nice.
And so then just save room by selling my copy of Boiling Point. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. What can you say, Stan? Takashi Kitano. These are. I mean, I love Boiling Point. I actually haven't seen Violent Cop yet, so
yeah. Beat Takeshi's great. This will be a great release. We got a booklet in this with essays by Tom Vick, Asian film curator for the Freer and Sackler galleries. I believe both films had a Eureka release. Is that what you have, or do you have an old Film Movement?
Film Movement.
Got it. All right.
Good
stuff. Yeah. Exciting, especially if you've never seen them. Solid. That's it for OCN, as if we have not spent enough time on that.
What? Wait. Those were the first announcements?
No, remember we covered the Criterion sale before that.
That wasn't announcements, though. Oh, my
God. Keep in mind, for anybody wondering, these, if you pre-ordered the Black Friday stuff, these will come after the sale, and you'll get one giant package with everything. And don't forget, what's crazy this year, and I don't know how they're going to do it. They haven't announced anything. The Black Friday sale typically goes from Thursday going into Friday at midnight all the way till the following Monday. What's wild this time, though, is Thanksgiving is on the 28th of November, which means the sale would end on December 2nd. So on the 1st of December, are they announcing a shit ton of partner labels during the sale to add to this? They probably are.
My mind is blown.
Sivner wanted to let you know that in one day this week, there was 37 announcements.
Christmas is fucked.
Christmas is fucked. All right. That is OCN.
Santa Claus conquers my wallet.
Next new one is Via Vision, the parent company of Imprint. They are putting out the complete Alfred Hitchcock Presents, but it's the 1985 to 1989 series. This is coming on DVD in Australia, and I know a lot of people are complaining about the DVD aspect. However, this has never been available on any home video format ever. No VHS, no Laserdisc, no DVD, no anything.
This is an abomination.
No, not into it.
Would you like to read the description and watch your audience have a heart attack?
Sure. The original Alfred Hitchcock Presents aired from 1955 to 65.
Which, by the way, I have the complete series.
In 1985, television boldly presented a contemporized version in which a then new colorization process bring Alfred Hitchcock back to life to introduce these updated thrillers, attracting a cast of vintage and upcoming Hollywood talent and filmmakers. Alfred Hitchcock Presents was introduced to a new audience, airing 4 seasons.
You fucking kidding me? Colorized versions
of the intro.
They've been Ted Turnered.
Yeah.
Abomination.
Yeah. I'd still kind of want it.
Go ahead.
No, I can't afford it. This stuff is expensive. This is kind of cool. There's going to be 11 new audio commentaries on these, including Steve Mitchell, Amanda Reyes, Kevin Lyons, Jonathan Rigby, Daniel Budnick, Reba Wisner. I don't know her, but this sounds like a fun package put together, at least.
It's colorized.
Only Hitchcock was colorized. It's not the whole episodes. They filmed all new episodes.
I can't. It's not right. It's against nature itself.
It's okay to have both.
Oh.
Even Jim liked it when he was a kid. It's okay, Will. Nobody hurt you.
I'm staying silent.
Next one, we just talked about it. Will's got it right next to him. Neon Eagle Video put up I Want to Get Even from 1983. This is their brand new release. You can pre-order this now, already in stock shipping. This has a 2K restoration. It's got optional English subs, Indonesian language audio with optional English subs, of course. Audio commentary by Andrew Leavold, reversible cover, full color booklet with new essays by Alexandra Heller Nicholas. Let's see, the slipcovers by Justin Coffey, and this sounds great. And then the alt is the alt title on the sleeve on the inside. No, okay. So, Will, did you see what this is also known as?
It literally arrived today. I haven't opened it yet. No.
Well, I don't think it's in there. This is known as Lady X Terminator.
Oh, well, okay.
I think a lot of people will like this. It is very, very trash through and through, and one of the crazier titles that Jared's ever been associated with. Even all Mondo titles and everything. Very non-PC.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it. I would be watching it right now if it weren't Thursday.
I'm glad it's Thursday because I'm glad I get to see your face.
Oh.
Next up, Beazle, coming on November 26th from Dread and Epic Pictures. This is another indie horror that they put out quite often. And yeah, you can pre-order this now. Amazon, Grindhouse Video, Diabolic, a bunch of places. Check it out.
Yep.
We got two coming from Second Run DVD over in the UK. First one is The Hop Pickers from 1964. This is the first ever cult Czechoslovak film musical. This is set during the annual hop harvest. A new generation confront the authority and expectations of their elders. This youthful rebellion explodes in colorful production numbers, irrepressibly catchy songs, and audacious satire. Channeling the energy of the swinging 60s with a distinctly Czech twist on the big screen musical.
This has one of my favorite songs of all time. You better check it yourself before you wreck it yourself.
Wow. This one is presented from a brand new 4K restoration from the Czech National Film Archive. There is a rare archival silent film from all the way back in 1932 about the Czech hop picking industry. There is a silent promotional film from 1952. There is a contemporary information film directed by Joseph Suron from 1964. A booklet in this one as well. And as usual, I want to remind everybody, Second Run DVD, pretty much all of their Blu-rays are always region-free. And this is one of them.
It may be a great-grandpa joke, Cine Journeys, but it's a great-grandpa joke who knew Ice Cube. So if we're at that point, then it was terrible though. I hope no one laughed.
I did. The next second run one is Fugitive Images, selected works by Andrea Luca Zimmerman. This is coming on December 25th, so Merry Christmas. This says the first director to be shortlisted for both the Grierson and Jarman Awards. The work of filmmaker, artist, and cultural activist Andrea Luc Zimmerman presents tender portraits of community and solidarity, exhibiting sentiments almost entirely missing from our contemporary political vocabulary. Timely. This is a 2-disc Blu-ray special edition, including, we've got a bunch of features on here, including Tascafa, Stories of the Street, Estate, A Reverie, Erase and Forget, and Here for Life. And if that is somehow not enough for you, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, something like 14 short films on here. This is a solid looking release.
Yeah. Because I already made the Czech joke, I'm going to resist the "my name is Luca" joke.
Got it. I will too then. Next up, one that has gotten more attention than I think most of my announcements this week. This must be a huge title in the UK. November 25th, The Box of Delights is getting a Blu-ray release from the BBC over in the UK. This is what seemingly many, like thousands of people watch every year leading up to Christmas, because the number of comments I got for this is crazy, saying that they watch this every single year and they're stoked to get it in HD. This is supposed to be like a young entry into horror. It's supposed to be terrifying. Done as a mini series, and it's fully remastered, including brand new special features like the making of the Box of Delights and trails and continuity. We got some interviews, and this looks really great. You can pre-order this from Orbit now, and probably a couple others.
I've always appreciated the acting work of Kay Harker. You ever see that Taboo movie?
Never mind.
Parker, my bad. Different Box of Delights.
Sam over in the UK says this is a big one for UK people. Hope people check it out. Yes, Craig says horror miniseries looks like a Lifetime Christmas movie. It's supposed to be like a fantastical horror for young kids. Not children, like adolescents. Diabolic also has it. Thanks, Reggie.
Well, I mean, it shows you, like when you watch this movie, you understand truly that groove is in the heart. You know?
Yep.
And that I think is the most important lesson.
That's everything that we can learn this week. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Warner Archive posted all of their announcements, and Will is most excited for one of them, but that's the last one. Black Eye from 1974 is coming on Blu-ray on December 17th. All of these on December 17th. This is going to have no bonus features, but it does star the one and only Fred Williamson.
The Hammer.
The Hammer. And it's got the trailer on this disc as well.
That's all you need, baby.
Next one is The Tall Target from 1951. This one will have some extras. We get a March 6, 1949 radio version of Mr. President starring Edward Arnold. We got classic MGM cartoons, Jerry's Cousin and Slicked Up Pup, and the trailer.
Love Dick Powell. Controversial at times as an opinion, but I stick by him as a performer and as a director.
Next one. This is Nora Prentice from 1947. This is a big one I know a lot of people were waiting on. I believe previously this was only shown on TCM and has not been available readily for quite some time. We got a classic Warner Brothers cartoon, The Big Snooze, and another short, So You Think You're a Nervous Wreck. This one starring Ann Sheridan.
Yes. Very cool.
Craig wants to know, does Warner Archive still do the 4 for $44 sale? So they don't kind of. Moviezing, MOVIEZYNG.com is the new home of Warner Archive, but their sale is not near as good as the 4 for $44 sale. The biggest thing, I really hate saying go support Amazon, but if you are wanting like very specific Warner Archive titles, put them in your wish list. They go on sale all the time for less than $11.
Yeah, they drop.
You can get stuff for like $9.50 and free shipping, and it's a title that's normally like $20. That's the best way to do it.
I always have about 10 Warner Archive titles in my like saved for later cart, and I just check them every day until they drop below $15 and I grab them. And then realize if I'd waited one more week, they would have dropped to like 11.
Yep. Let's continue on with Warner Archive. The Spanish Main from 1945 is our next one with Paul Henreid and Maureen O'Hara. This one's going to have classic Technicolor short subject Movie Land Magic, some classic cartoons, Buccaneer Bunny and Captain Hairblower. Love that these are getting HD releases on some of these discs.
So great. And anytime you can get a Frank Borzage film, grab it. They're always beautifully done, well crafted. Borzagi's a true filmmaker.
Ragnar, speaking of Amazon, says I have 1,500 items in my save for later cart.
Yeah, right. for sure.
Oh man.
Well, Craig's point, I think, at least for the next 4 years to infinity, yes. This is how it's going to be. Fucking God damn it.
Fucking Amazon. All right, that was Spanish Main. Next one is Mr. Lucky, starring Cary Grant. This is from 1943. This one has the Lux Radio Theater broadcast with Cary Grant and Lorraine Day from 1943 as well. Screen Directors Playhouse broadcast with Cary Grant and H.C. Potter from 1950, and the trailer.
Oh, this is a fun one. I saw this many, many years ago. I'm excited to see it again.
And then Night Full of Rain.
Yes.
How did I know that you were gonna?
What a great! I mean, Warner Archive. Like I'm always every release, slate I'm excited about. But this month, holy shit, Lena Wertmuller. This Night Full of Rain. Yes. It is in my cart. I'm waiting for it to go down in price. That said, I paid full price for Ninja Terminator. So,
oh man,
my value system is very arbitrary.
I also want to point out, I had somebody talk about how slowly how slowly Warner Archive is putting out titles. I just announced like 6 titles in 1 month from Warner Archive. Please remember, like 2 years ago, it was like 3 titles every couple months from Warner Archive.
Yeah.
They have stepped up greatly and been doing a lot of really great work while keeping the quality high. Their restoration work is always excellent. Love the way their films look. And we are not done with Warner Archive, but we can't talk about the last one yet. That's after Screen Factory announcements. They waited till late in the day. That one's a special one. You get that later.
Oh, that's fine. I don't mind the wait, and I think it's appropriate to take a long time to get there.
Next up, then, coming soon on Blu-ray from Kino, Houseboat from 1958 with Cary Grant and Sophia Loren. I've never seen this one. Have you seen this one?
Yes, it's hilarious.
All right. Sounds good. This will be from a 6K scan of the 35mm VistaVision OCN.
Ooh, 60. I mean, put 2. Go back. We're not ready. Put 2 of the sexiest people that ever lived on a boat with a bunch of kids. Right? Like the tension, the pratfalls, the slapstick, the screwball, the double entendres. It's great. Houseboat's a lot of fun. All right, on to reindeer games.
Okay. What's funny is they announced this is coming soon on 4K and Blu-ray from Kino, but we know this is coming in January, so we'll be talking about this soon.
That's soon.
It is, but Kino doesn't normally do that. Normally coming soon means in like 2.5 years. We'll talk about this more. The 4K and Blu-ray releases of this will also include the director's cut on Blu-ray only, not on 4K.
Okay.
The theatrical cut gets a 4K scan of the theatrical. Never mind, I said that wrong. 4K scan of the OCN is the theatrical cut on the 4K disc.
This was good. You know, Frankenheimer got to go out. Well, I mean, they were both flops. Island of Dr. Moreau and Reindeer Games. But in retrospect, they were both really cool movies. Obviously, Island of Dr. Moreau was compromised in many ways, but it turned out fascinating. Reindeer Games and Ronin. So fun. And yeah, I'm really excited to see this in 4K. I don't think I've seen the director's cut. So
yeah, I've never seen the director's cut for sure.
Definite for me. I enjoyed this quite a bit. It was ridiculed when it came out. It was like the reviews were like the Room level. You know what I mean? From the mainstream press. They were like, this is the worst movie ever made. And then I watched it and I was like, what, are you kidding me? This is decidedly not the worst movie ever made. So yeah, very, very cool release.
Yeah, I'm glad this is coming out. It's exciting. I'm glad they're getting stuff like this.
It's Affleck backlash.
Yeah,
Affleck backlash. Affleck? Yeah. Gary Sinise gets a pass. There's no Gary Sinise backlash.
He is such a good person.
What?
Gary Sinise, isn't he?
Nah, dude. It's a fucking whatever. Go ahead.
I don't know anything else. Okay, we'll leave it alone.
He ain't Captain Dan, dude.
Anyways, forget I said it. Let's talk about an evil clown instead. Unearth Films releasing 100 Tears from 2007 on Blu-ray. This is coming on March 11th. We've got the director's cut of the movie, audio commentary with the director, Marcus Cook, audio commentary with Marcus, and Stephen Biro from Unearth Films, interview with the director, making of, behind the scenes, all that fun stuff.
Gary Sinise is a trumper. The Insane Clown Posse, on the other hand, or at least Violent J, are Harris supporters. So,
all right,
you trust a guy who'd shoot a neurodivergent dude in the head, or do you trust Violent J? I'm referencing Gary Sinise and Of Mice and Men.
I understand.
Yeah, just making sure in case people didn't know. So
we got a book reader in here now.
No, yeah, I'm not saying Gary Sinise definitely did that. Yes, Cine Journeys points out Gary Sinise. You can be a good person and disagree with me politically. I'll say that. However,
good way to say that.
However, yes, most people are complicated, but I like to simplify things.
How do you do that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've shed more than 100 tears this week.
Indeed. All right, let's go to the next one.
Why not?
Imprint has launched a Black Friday sale.
Oh my God, that sale is so unfair.
It was so frustrating. Sale ends on November 11th, but I got to say quite a few things. So the site did not work for the first 11 hours after they launched the sale.
I can understand why. Holy shit.
And there are some titles that are limited edition titles, and they are do you remember the exact price for the cheapest one?
$7.
$6.78.
Yeah.
That is insanity.
And then box sets between 30 and 60.
I really wanted the Sidney J. Fury box set that I was never able to pick up, and
I wanted to get it for you.
I put it in my cart and tried to check out for 6 hours. By the time I got there, it was sold out fully. Well,
the Kim Novak set's still there.
One Imprint title was $2.
Yeah, there's some.
Jesus.
I still have some. I can't do it, but I really wanted the John Farrow and George Papard sets, the Kim Novak set.
Yeah.
and a couple of individual titles. I don't think I can do it without betraying my parental and marital responsibilities, but I want to. Blame the dog, man. The dog ruined my month.
Didn't it get out twice?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the dog is the second worst thing that's happened to me in the last 15 days. Wait, what was that about Neverending Story?
Chris said, Imprint robbed us. Watch Neverending Story 4K be $50 during the next sale.
I have to say, as excited as I am about it, I could not, in good conscience, pull the trigger on the $175 edition. I don't need the fake book. I just want a 4K edition of the film.
And they're not Synapse, so I don't know that this is not trustworthy or whatever, but they came out and said, we don't plan on doing a standard edition, which is crazy. You're the first person in the world to do a 4K of one of the most beloved 80s films of all time.
Kino probably got it.
Yeah, probably. And watch, Kino will do the deluxe book. It'll only weigh 1.5 pounds. It won't be 5 pounds like Imprint, but it will also only be $37.99 when it launches, and it'll have no new features. And Kino's won't have Dolby Vision, and Imprints will.
Oh, Dolby Vision. I don't know what that means, really. Like, I hear it a lot. I don't really know what it means. You don't have to tell me. Just go to the next thing.
You got it, boss. The next thing is we are printing the newest edition of the Physical Media Advocate just a week from now. If you would like to have a question answered in it, please go ahead and either comment on this video or wherever you're listening to this or watching this, and I will try to get it in there. We've got quite a few questions for this issue already. If you can't comment, like if you're watching the live stream, and make sure that it doesn't get stuck in there, send me an email, disconnectedmedia@gmail.com. We've got a lot of stuff. If you want to ask about rights for a film, if you want to talk about behind-the-scenes stuff or the magazine or give opinions on something, just let me know and we will print it for you.
I got a question for the editor. What happened? Hey, speaking of Gary Sinise and John Frankenheimer, did you ever see the made-for-television film Frankenheimer did, starring Gary Sinise, George Wallace?
That sounds super familiar.
Well, in these perilous times, it's worth a watch. It's a good film, and it's one that I think truthfully dramatizes the political calculus that Wallace made during desegregation. Because he chose to tack towards the pro-segregation position. Could have just as easily gone the other way. Because like most politicians, he had no real beliefs. Worth a watch. It's only available on DVD at this point.
For now.
4K George Wallace. That might come out now.
Let's get into some Scream Factory. First title announced is Vampires, the John Carpenter film from '98. This is getting a 4K release with one of their 2 slipcover, 2 poster releases if you want that bundle. As far as extras, we already have all of them announced, and they have a brand new nothing. There's no new extras. If you've got the Blu-ray, you've got all the extras for this one. However, this one will probably look pretty great in 4K.
Oh man, I remember going to see this. I went to see this in the theater with my former college professor, mentor, became a friend after I graduated. We went to see Vampires in the theater and just had a blast. And that was the only John Carpenter movie I saw in theater when it first came out. and a lot of fun. I liked Vampires.
I think it's pretty good. For a late era Carpenter, it's not terrible.
Yeah. Well, it ain't The Ward, I'll tell you that.
Next one, January 21st, 4K release of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This one, everybody seemed to know that this was coming when this only came out on Blu-ray, because I think this got a 4K in Germany. This is just kind of Scream Factory, and also is this Universal? I think it's Universal that did this. This is just kind of the MO. The only thing that's different, though, they actually went out and got new features for this, even though it just came out, including 2 brand new audio commentaries, one with Megan Navarro and then one with David Dismalchian. Like, that's out of nowhere. We got a new interview with folklorist and author Dr. Karen Stolznow. All of the extras that were on the Blu-ray release. If you liked this film or were curious about it, now you've got 2 different slipcovers, 2 posters. This looks like a pretty good release. If this is your first buy, do you need to upgrade if you had the Blu-ray? Probably not.
Okay, so I got to say that the second slipcover, the one on the right-hand side, reminds me of the VHS cover art for Bram Stoker's Shadow Builder, Shadow Kill. I don't know.
Oh, MVD released that.
But yeah, what's it called? Shadow something.
I think it's Shadow Builder. Yeah,
Shadow Builder. But I wanted to see The Last Voyage of Demeter, and I didn't. Was it good? Did you see it?
I did not see it, but everybody that's seen it has said that it's mostly good. Like, it's not great, but it's pretty good. I'm glad this is getting a release.
It mostly comes at night. Mostly.
Yeah, Nosferatu coming out soon, hence Demeter. Yeah, I could see that. Sibner says this points to a series. Who knows if that'll ever happen? This did not do well in the theaters, right? I doubt that it will.
Yeah, I mean, series. It's The Last Voyage. How can they do a series? Can't do The Next Voyage. It's not like The Next Adventures of Hercules.
Or The Final Nightmare.
Kevin Sorbo. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? I liked you so much. You're such a charismatic dude. I liked Crawl. I loved you in Hercules. What's your problem? Live your life, man. Stop it. That's my message to Kevin Sorbo.
Never mind. I was going to say something else to you about something unrelated. We'll talk about that after. Next one.
Let Xena live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let Xena have health care. Fuck. All right.
Speaking of James Cameron, Sanctum.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ.
Coming on 4K. This is from 2011. James Cameron produced it. He did not direct it. This was supposedly a decent-looking 3D Blu-ray, and this is not getting 3D anything now. We got a new audio commentary by Emily Higgins and Billy Dunham, and that's all that's new on this one. I have never seen this, and Will is gone. Adam Schofield did not enjoy Demeter. Ronnie says, let Cena marry Gabrielle. I've never seen Sanctum. Anybody like it? I know nothing about it. I will go to the next one, though, because this is a big one. Shaw Brothers Classics Volume 5 coming on January 14th on Blu-ray. Lots and lots of films in this, as usual.
This is good.
Sibner says, Will, I think the problem with Kevin Sorbo is that he's a xenophobe.
Oh, I get it. That's funny. It actually took me a second.
This Shaw Brothers box set has The Silent Swordsman. This has Rape of the Sword, The Fastest Sword, Twin Blades of Doom, 12 Deadly Coins, Vengeance is a Golden Blade.
That's a good one.
A Taste of Cold Steel, The Iron Buddha, The Jade-Faced Assassin, Mission Impossible, 6 Assassins, and a whole bunch of bonus features. But they really highlight audio commentaries in this. These, I think all of them, if I remember right, as I scrolled through these, all got brand new audio commentaries. We do have a couple featurettes or like visual essay type things, but some of these even got 2 new audio commentaries. Lots of these coming. I mean, they've got a ton of Shaw Brothers stuff if they are able to keep kicking these out. I mean, it's crazy what we've been able to get, not to mention the Golden Harvest titles. 11 full films in this box set. This is crazy. This is a big box set.
So this is the 5th one? Yeah.
This is the 5th one, yeah.
So if I only had like $700, I could get them all.
Sean's here. Sean says some of these have only ever been on VCD.
God,
wow.
These are the most frustrating sets for me. Along with Arrow's Shawscope Volume 3. Like, I pine for them.
Chris is saying, are these the same ones in Arrow sets?
No.
No, they can't be. Literally, Arrow is releasing these in the U.S. Alongside these. So, yeah, they can't license the exact same title. These are all brand new. Yeah. And if you just buy the Shout Factory ones, that's 55 films. And then the Arrow 3 Shawscopes, those are 8 each, right?
Yeah.
So there's another 24, plus the Golden Harvest box sets they just did.
Jesus. Yeah.
Plus the Tai Lung David Chang collection, plus
and
the Brave Archer collection.
Yeah. Different Archer, not that Archer. Brave Archer. Yeah.
There's so much coming out of them.
Yeah.
The Arrow sets are 14 films?
Phrasing, but otherwise, yeah.
Yes, it is phrasing. I could have swore the Shawscope only had 8 films in each.
It doesn't matter. That's
I mean, it's a lot either way, but 18 films is a big difference.
18? In each
6,
one?
6, 6, 3.
Whoa. 3. Did you discover something just now?
Oh, man.
Is this ordained? Is this a plot? Is this... Is this connected to the election? Is this a dead zone situation? Is this the Omen? Is this the is this the final Omen 2?
I love the Omen.
Is this the final Omen 2? Is this I Know What You Did Last Omen?
Brendan, you're saying Shaw 2, at least volume 1, 13 maybe. I don't understand that sentence structure. Are we talking about Shawscope or the Shout Factory box sets? The Shout Factory ones all have 11. I believe the Shawscope had 8 of each of the Arrow, but I'm not sure. Either way, these are all expensive box sets too.
But the number 13 is tattooed on my neck.
Upside down.
Oh. Glenn Danzig.
Brendan said Shawscope 2 has 14. That's a lot. Jeez.
Listen, you guys are getting into the math. I don't understand what you're saying. All I know is these Shaw Brothers box sets have a lot of movies in them. And they're expensive, and I want them all.
All right. Stop the steal. Let's go to the next title.
No problem this time.
You can pre-order the second title from Celluloid Dreams, which is Short Night of the Glass Dolls on 4K now, and it's expected to ship around April 29th. This is the official second title releasing. I know a lot of people are looking for Black Belly of the Tarantula. They did announce that the restoration was not up to their quality standards, so they are working on that, and that should be the third title coming from Celluloid Dreams. The big thing is this is getting a crazy loaded release, kind of like their first release. This is going to be even bigger, though, as it will have 4 different discs. This has a brand new commentary by the owner of Celluloid Dreams, Guido. This will have multiple trailers in 4K resolution, which is just crazy. The Blu-ray will have the brand new transfer as well, with the commentary by the writer-director and that new commentary and all those trailers. And then they get into the bonus features. Disc 3 has archival interviews. It's got new interviews. It's got image gallery, long lost Malestrana credits. And then the last disc is going to have the Grindhouse version from the 35mm archival lab print, the US VHS pan and scan version, in case you want that.
Wait, all right. What?
They're putting every single version of this on here.
A pan and scan is now an extra?
It sure is.
I'm going to get this no matter what, because Short Night of Glass Dolls is a great movie. And I've got the Twilight Time Blu-ray, which, glad to have it. But this is obviously a significant upgrade. I will never watch the pan and scan.
You won't?
Are you kidding me? Why are people nostalgic for that? Like, I get being nostalgic for VHS physically. But the first time I saw Suspiria was pan and scan. The first time I saw Once Upon a Time in the West, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, both pan and scan. Why would you want that again? Except to remind yourself of how beautiful the real film is. I get, like, different supplemental features have different value to me. And it pisses me off that some supplemental features, slip covers, pan and scan versions, are more valuable than other supplementals that require lots of work and research and production. And I don't understand why. I mean, the market is the market. But, we've talked to so many people in this community who are kind of like, oh, I never watch extras. I would rather, and like, I'm not mad at those people, but I'm also like, but do you know how hard, like, people work to make them, and that they're also films and that they're part of the pan and scan. You want to, as an extra, you want to watch what some fucking producer's assistant did? It's like, oh, we're preparing this for VHS. Make it so that the lead actor's face is in the frame.
Barely.
Barely. Because we're selling inferior. Pan and scan is the fentanyl of film. It makes you think you're watching a film, but really you're just killing yourself.
There are, I mean, there's so many titles you can name, but there's so many titles in pan and scan versions that they would reference something that you clearly were supposed to be able to be seeing.
Yeah,
that was not visible.
Right? I love it. I love it when it's like a Sergio Leone movie or any spaghetti western, when the pan and scan, like, because the composition is so widescreen, the pan and scan just like stops the picture and then like moves to the side so you can, like, oh my god.
Yeah. So this release, let's go through a couple other things I forgot and completely glossed over.
Sorry, to be clear, this is going to be an awesome release and everybody should get it.
This is going to include a featurette by the one and only Howard S. Berger called The Kafka Connection on this. And then the big thing is the physical extras for this. This has a 64-page booklet with a commemorative essay on Aldo Laudo by Andy Marshall Roberts. And a whole bunch of pictures will be in that booklet as well. And then orders... Go ahead.
And a second 30-page booklet with every other page removed. Sorry, go ahead.
All orders placed through the website will come with an original film strip of 10 frames, newly printed specifically for this purpose from the original camera negative of the trailer, and an exclusive set of beautifully restored 12-inch by 8 1/4-inch color reproductions of the original Italian photo bus lobby cards. And supposedly This one will not have a slipcover, much to the chagrin of collectors everywhere.
No slipcover, but you get a pan and scan version.
Yep.
Okay.
Ragnar says Vincent leaves off a lot of English dubs. Why? For those that don't know, this question's come up a lot over the last couple months, and I wanted to actually bring this up, and I forgot. I think I was going to bring it up last week. Dubs literally have to be licensed. That is something that somebody paid to have done, and in many situations, dubs are not available. One big example of this is a film that Will and I just worked on, Felidae from Deaf Crocodile, had an English dub that was done back in the 90s, and it was not available to license. So it will not be on the Deaf Crocodile release, not based on their choice. If they had access to it, it would be there. They would throw everything on there if it was theirs and they had the material. However, in many situations, you can't track down who has the rights because it's not like there's a record of who has the rights to dubs on many of these.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yes, that was he was live tweeting it when he was listening to it.
Yeah, like when we were researching and writing the commentary, I assumed that the English version was not available, but I wasn't for sure, and so that's why we don't talk about it in the commentary, because it's not part of the package.
Back to Short Night of Glass Dolls. Yes, I did leave Will hanging slightly. We don't get a slipcover. It is a side-loading slipcase.
Oh, well, that's cool.
That's even cool. Nicer. But it's a 4-disc release, and that's why.
I freaking love this movie. It is another bleak one, you know?
Yeah.
I like them bleak.
The hard part, and this is not to shit on Celluloid Dreams putting this out in any way. This had a great release from Twilight Time, and unlike a lot of other Twilight Time discs, this one is still fairly readily available. Like, I think you can get the Blu-ray from Twilight Time for like $25 on Amazon right now, and it looked really good. Yeah. So I get it. Like, this will obviously be the definitive version. I mean, it has pan and scan.
Look, it's a beautiful movie. I really want to see the 4K.
And it'll be great. Their first 4K is literally like one of the best looking 4Ks ever. Genuine.
I'm excited about Black Belly the Tarantula, but this is Short Night of Glass Dolls is a better movie. This is exciting.
Yeah. I'm more looking forward to Black Belly as well, Gary.
Whatever. we'll all be happy eventually.
Someday. Hey, let's talk about this.
Oh yeah.
December 17th, just like all the other titles from Warner Archive, we are getting the first Warner Archive 4K title, and that is 1956's The Searchers.
Oh, my God.
We got an archival commentary on here by Bogdanovich, and that'll be on both the 4K and the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray disc will have all of these archival extras that they've had previously. And it will be on either a 4K disc or a standalone remastered Blu-ray that you can get on its own. The 4K disc will come with the remastered Blu-ray as well. So The Searchers will heap your love on it.
I've been waiting for this for a long time, which is appropriate. And it's funny because just a few months ago, I read the original novel for the first time. With my dad, who's what's this year? He's 74 now, and we can't talk without fighting, and so we started reading books together, taking turns picking out books. This is the only way we can talk without fighting. And so for one of my recent selections, I was like, you know what? I want to read The Searchers. I never read it before. And God damn, it's a grim and unrelentingly excellent book. And I was surprised at how faithful the film is to it. In as much as it can be, given the restrictions of its time. If you've never seen The Searchers, it's one of the greatest films ever made. And the first time you see it, you might not think so, but it rewards multiple viewings. perhaps now more than ever, teaches you so much about who we are. It has the limitations of its day. You know, Jeffrey Hunter is a white guy playing a half indigenous, half white character with bronze. There are actual indigenous actors, but the main indigenous character, Scar, is played by a white man in red bronze. But John Wayne's performance is so... I mean, he's John Wayne, so you recognize him the way you recognize him in any movie. But this film, he does so much nuanced work in his John Wayne character. I mean, his character's rage and racism and resentment and unrequited love are so painfully palpable. I took my wife to see The Searchers in the theater several years ago, and at the end of it, I started crying, which I don't do a lot of. Not like a big crier. It was involuntary. And she was so embarrassed that she just got up and left. And I sat there just weeping, saying, like, he had to go. He had to go. This movie is so beautifully shot. I cannot wait to see what the 4K restoration looks like. I love The Searchers. Martin Scorsese agrees with me. You're not going to argue with the Wolf of Wall Street guy, are you? The Searchers is the best, man. It is the best. I could put it on any day and be moved by it. I'm just talking about it. I'm doing like an advertisement for The Searchers, and I'm getting emotional because this movie. And yeah, you know, I've been waiting for it for a long time, and I can't believe it was announced this week with so much horrible shit happening. And it's a movie about enduring horrible shit for a long time. Yeah, if you don't have The Searchers in your collection, you don't have a collection. So that's where I'm at.
All right.
No jokes. No jokes. Oh, you're just gonna... That's it?
I have nothing to say about The Searchers.
You're like, oh, okay, greatest movie ever made. Oh, let's talk about the MCU.
Greatest movie ever made.
Yeah, let's talk about the MCU. The Marvels is why Kamala lost.
Icons Unearthed Marvel is coming out on January 14th from Mill Creek Entertainment.
Okay.
This will have over 5 hours of full unseen interviews with Lou Ferrigno, Mark Millar, Clark Gregg, J.J. Field, and J. Michael Straczynski.
What? What is this?
It's a documentary that's supposedly like really well made. They did a bunch
Unofficial.
of... No, it's an official documentary. They're talking about unofficial and unauthorized Marvel. This isn't about the MCU.
Oh, do they talk about the Fantastic Four, the Corman version?
Guaranteed they do.
Okay, cool. I'm into it.
All right, going to the next one.
That's it? Are we not going to talk about The Searchers? Are you going to admit?
Are we not going to talk? We just did. You waxed poetically for like 6 minutes.
I did. You said nothing.
I have no feelings because I can't stand John Wayne as an actor, and I have never enjoyed even 30 seconds of his screen presence, ever.
This hurts me. It continues to hurt me.
I'm sorry. Like, that's John Wayne. Yeah.
Never apologize, son. It's a sign of weakness. John Wayne.
Okay. I'm sorry.
She wore a yellow ribbon. Continue.
House MD, the complete series. This is coming to Blu-ray finally.
Speaking of men who never apologize. I've only seen a few episodes of this, but am I wrong? Like every episode he starts out with like, you have a tumor. And then at the end of the episode, he was like, I was wrong. You actually have colorectal cancer.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a full episode.
And I can only think of him, Hugh Laurie, as being in Blackadder. So the idea of him like making a medical diagnosis upsets me. And then he's also in that P.G. Wodehouse adaptation, Jeeves and Wooster, right? Is that it?
Something.
Why don't you have an encyclopedic knowledge of British television?
I can say, wasn't he in 101 Dalmatians?
The fuck?
With Glenn Close.
Wait, isn't there a British guy watching?
Isn't there a British guy watching?
Am I right about Jeeves and Wooster?
I think so. Jeeves and Wooster,
Thank you, Paul.
Wooster was Stephen Fry.
Cheerio, Paul. Thank you.
Oh man,
I got in trouble last year with a British guy. So I got a cousin that lives in London, and she's dating this British dude, chap, as they say. And Paul's Australian. Who's the British dude, though?
Film blogger Sam. I don't think he's watching anymore. He's probably asleep now.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and tell my British story. Sorry, Paul. Top of the morning to you.
He says it's still under the monarchy.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie. But anyway, so she's dating this British guy, and we were having a little Thanksgiving thing where like all these cousins get on Zoom and like say Happy Thanksgiving or whatever. And it was a nightmare, of course, because nobody actually like wanted to hear how anybody was doing. They just wanted to talk.
Right.
So anyway, she was excited because she was showing off her new British boyfriend. And she was like, yeah, Nigel or whatever the fuck his name was, doesn't really get Thanksgiving. And of course, you know me, I'm impulsive. And, you know, I just respond. I was like, oh, the British dude doesn't get like colonial genocide? And like they got mad. And I was like, why are you mad? That's like your whole country's history. That's why like I'm where I am. You know? You don't get Thanksgiving? You invented it, you know?
I love that I didn't make the joke I was about to, because I almost interrupted and said, before you finish this, are you going to say that you did the Paul Rudd Forgetting Sarah Marshall? You sound like you're from London.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't remember that movie. We're not allowed to watch that anymore because of Russell Brand, right?
Yeah, it's still great. You just can't watch the semi-sequel.
Well, you know, I didn't know
the sequel's even worse because P. Diddy's in it.
There's a sequel?
Yeah, called Get Him to the Greek with Jonah Hill.
That's a sequel to Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
It's Russell Brand plays the same character that he did in the first movie.
I got to tell you, I watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall when it first came out, and two things about it. One, I didn't understand what Russell Brand was doing in that movie. His character was not funny and also didn't really add to the story. But the second thing about Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and this is my favorite thing about Forgetting Sarah Marshall, is that Jason Segel was on Fresh Air with Terry Gross. And they spent like 5 minutes talking about his dick scene. I was like, this is the funniest thing NPR has ever done.
I love that he took his mom to the premiere and didn't tell her that he's full frontal in it. Oh man.
Let's talk about House for a second. So I've only seen a couple episodes, but it I'm not sure I understand it, because every episode I saw, he confidently makes a diagnosis that is then wrong. But he's like a genius.
Yes.
Film Nut 79. Explain to me what is that person's name? Do we know that person's name?
That's Tony. Tony from Imprint Films, the podcast.
Oh, Tony, love your podcast. Can you explain House to me? I'll wait.
Stan loves it too.
He's a good actor. British people doing American accents is always like, "Arr, I'm talking very hard."
Paul says his team makes the wrong diagnosis, and then House discovers the real one.
I like the insulting thing. I saw one recently where like someone had an itchy vagina, and he was like, "Oh, it's cervical cancer or something." I was like, "Oh, this show started out funny and got really serious." Well, all right. I'm not going to purchase the box set, but I'll watch. I'll watch some more. Oh, it's because he's been lied to. Hey, speaking of itchy vaginas, let's talk about Fade In.
Fade In with Burt Reynolds and Barbara Loden coming on Blu-ray on January 14th from Kino. This has new audio commentary by Daniel Kramer, new audio commentary by Brian Reisman and Max Every as well. This is one that heard a lot about over the years. I've never been able to see. Been eager to check this one out, actually. Have you seen Fade In?
No, but based on the cover art, I cannot wait.
So this one, this says Silver Screen icons Burt Reynolds and Barbara Loden shine in this offbeat romantic western about opposites who attract while living through the hurly-burly schedule of a film shoot. Arriving in Moab, Utah to work as an editor on a Hollywood movie, a young city woman surprises herself and everyone else when she finds herself falling for a handsome and charismatic ranch hand who is working as a driver during the production. Initially drawn together by the anything-goes sense of location shooting, the pair quickly discover that despite their differences, they are forging a serious connection. But are they going to make it past the final reel? Beautifully shot by a cinematographer William Fraker, this unique genre-blurring film documents the real-life making of the cult western Blue from 1968, starring Terrence Stamp, Joanna Pettit, Ricardo Montalban, and Sally Kirkland. Fade In was directed by Judd Taylor, but became the first film credited to Alan Smithy, the pseudonym initially created for Death of a Gunfighter. Officially premiering as the CBS late movie in 1973, Fade In, also known as Iron Cowboy, has since garnered a cult following. Yeah.
So we have a question. Why have so many Burt Reynolds movies been coming out lately? My response? Strange. You never knew.
All right.
Mazzy Star. Mazzy Star joke in 2024.
Hey, let's talk about Radiance. February 24th in the UK, February 25th in North America, they are releasing Hokuriku Proxy War from 1977. This is a Kinji Fukusaki.
Yeah, get it right, dude.
I'm sorry. Very white here. HD digital transfer. New interview with an actress from the film. New interview with the screenwriter. Yakuza film historian Akihiko Ito on the real-life Hokuriku Proxy War murder case. We've got reversible sleeve as usual, and then a booklet with newly translated archival writings. But as usual, great art by Radiance.
Yeah. I'm glad my Mazzy Star joke landed. Do you want to know what's funny?
Yes.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's just something about me. When I'm falling asleep on the couch, I like to put on Mazzy Star. Like live performances on the TV. They're very comforting.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
More from Radiance. The Cat. This is from 1988, getting a UK release on the same day, February 24th. North America on February 25th. This is by Dominic Graff, and this is going to have a brand new interview with Dominic. This is going to have an interview with the screenwriter, interview with the producer, select scene commentary as well. And then we've got reversible sleeve on this one. No booklet mentioned, which is rare for Radiance. I'm not sure if it's going to be there, but hey, this is coming out, and it's a film called The Cat. Craig's got to love this one.
Somebody grabbed it by the booklet.
Oh, look at that. Craig says, hey, they're talking about...
Yeah, somebody stole the booklet.
Oh, man.
Uh,
And then the next one is Nomad, Patrick Tam, and this will also include My Heart Is That Eternal Rose. This is a double feature coming in the UK on February 24th. This is going to have the same restoration that was done previously on the other release, and this will have an interview with Tony Raines on Nomad, interview with the assistant director Stanley Kwan on Nomad, visual essay on Patrick Tam and the Hong Kong New Wave by David Desser, audio commentary by Frank Jang on My Heart Is That Eternal Rose, 2 episodes of CID. This was also on the Connie release that was released earlier. Booklet on this one featuring an archival career-spanning interview with Patrick Tam. Great looking release.
Yeah.
If you don't have the other stuff, this might be the one to go.
Yeah, I'm starting to think Radiance is a pretty good label.
Yeah, they're all right. And then what happened was with Tom Noonan, this is coming on February 24th in the UK only. This is from 1994. Can't speak. 4K restoration that was licensed from Oscilloscope. This has some of those same features on there, and then a new interview with Charles Barnesco from this year as well, and then a limited book with new writing by Adam Naiman.
What happened? Mighty Wind. Okay. Yeah, that looks great.
That is a solid month from Radiance.
Yeah.
Glad they are putting these out, and they're killing it. We should be hearing from them about their first 4K release here soon in the next couple months, probably.
What?
Yes, sir. All right. Going to our next is a pile of 88 films announcements. First is Love and Crime from 1969. This is coming to their Japanarchy line that they do. This will have a limited numbered OBI or OB strip. Includes a booklet with notes from Nathan Stewart, and then they've got an audio commentary by Jasper Sharp and Amber T. Newly filmed introduction by Mark Schilling. And this is supposed to be pretty damn great. It's a Teruo Ishii film.
Love Teruo Ishii. Freaking pervert.
I was waiting to hear the word you were going to choose.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, definitely nothing wrong with that.
Just to be clear.
The next one is Love Unto Waste. This is coming on January 20th in the UK. This is a very old Chow Yun-Fat film from 1986. New 2K transfer from the OCN. We've got a reversible sleeve with new artwork, but no extras on this one.
Well, what a waste.
Well, and beyond that, 88 Films will always delay their release dates anyways. So no extras, and it'll probably come 60 days after this date.
They should change their name to Waity Wait.
Next one is
look, it's Chris Statue.
It is Chris Statue. Might be a good time to say, if you are bored tomorrow during the middle of the day, Chris and I are finally doing another live episode of Film Foundations, what we call our State of the Union, doing that tomorrow. Come hang out with us. That'll be at 1 Eastern. And,
are you going to talk about presidential movies? Or
I don't know. I get to surprise Chris with a listicle at the end of that. So that'll be a fun one.
Okay.
Next from 88 Films, January 20th in the UK is Rouge from 1987. This is Stanley Kwan's. This is the one that was released by Criterion previously. However, this is a good release. Brand new 4K digital restoration approved by Stanley Kwan. We've got another kind of Chinese ghost story, interview with Stanley Kwan, archival interviews. very curious to see how this compares to the Criterion release, because I remember that did not get like super rave reviews at the time. So I'm hoping this one looks better. Paul says instead of weighty weight, you should call them lady late. And then the Tygon collection released this month is the Haunted House of Horrors, coming on Blu-ray in the UK on January 20th. This will have the slipcover if you get in on that first pressing. There will also be a booklet with notes from Michael Armstrong. This has an audio commentary by Kim Newman and Sean Hogan, audio commentary by Troy Howarth, Nathaniel Thompson, making of a House of Horrors visual essay, some featurettes, trailers, stills, all that fun stuff. Have you seen this one? Because this has like very oddly mixed reviews.
Yeah, I'd like to. I have to admit that as soon as you started talking about it, I started daydreaming about a special Halloween episode of The Sopranos called The Haunted House of Horrors, but which would be, I can't even say it right. I can't do the Sopranos accent. I've been working on my Donald Trump though. I think I'm gonna debut it next time. We need some distance.
Yikes!
But yeah. No, I haven't. I think I would probably want to check this out. I have no expectations. You got mixed reviews on it?
Yeah, like some people really love it, and others say that it falls super flat.
So kind of like every movie ever?
Kind of. The last one from 88 that we're going to talk about in this batch. This one did get delayed. Story of a Cloistered Nun. This will finally come out on January 27th in the UK.
Oh, speaking of House of Horrors.
Nothing new announced for this, but yeah, this will be finally getting released. This one got delayed. But the bigger things from today potentially is the BFI announcements. First is Kronos.
We're not going to talk about the Story of a Cloistered Nun?
We already have. We've covered it twice on the show already.
Not with me.
Okay, go ahead.
No. Let's talk about the old man.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, it's perverted.
It better be with the cover like that.
I mean,
all right.
You know the Catholics.
So Guillermo del Toro's Kronos is getting a 4K release from BFI on February 10th. It will also get a standalone Blu-ray release. This is pretty damn cool. We got a new commentary by Jason Wood, a couple different archival commentaries on this as well. We've got a couple short films, including Geometria, which we actually just watched in the Patreon Discord watch-along last month. We've got BFI Screen Talk from 2017, a bunch of archival interviews with Guillermo del Toro, and a 60-page book with new essays by Michelle Kisner, Rich Johnson, both have been on the channel before, Barry Forshaw, and Michael Leader. Also includes an edited version of Guillermo del Toro, The Origins of Horror and Kronos, an old interview that was done previously. This looks like a freaking great release.
The first time I saw Kronos, I decided to show it in a class, blind screening, which is rarely a good idea. But I decided to show it in class because it was my 40th birthday. And perfect 40th birthday classroom screening. Love it. Great movie.
Good. Next one up is a Chantal Ackerman box set. This is Volume 1 from 1967 to 78. This has all of the same films that were in the Criterion box set, all the same extras, everything. There is a different book in this with new essays by Catherine Bray, Justine Smith, Gerald White, Sarah Wood, and Hannah Strong. But the big thing to point out is lately, the Criterion stuff has been blown out of the water by better encoding from overseas. And the Criterion release of this box set only had, I think, 3 discs. and this goes all in to make sure that these films all have more area to breathe. Basically, they get the space they deserve. This is a 5-disc set. These will likely look quite a bit better than the Criterion release, actually.
Well, hell.
Unfortunately, I already have the Criterion.
I know, that's the quandary.
Well, let's keep going with stuff that Criterion and BFI are both releasing. Yojimbo and Sanjuro getting a 4K release on March 17th. Is also getting, just like Chronos, a Blu-ray release. This is getting a limited 2-disc set, both 4K, presented in Dolby Vision, which a lot of the Criterion releases have not been getting Dolby Vision, if that's your big thing. New interview on this.
Dolby? They're Dolby-less?
New interview with Jasper Sharp on this. There's other extras that are going to be confirmed later as well. There's also an illustrated booklet on this. Yeah.
I feel cheated.
What's up, KB? Yeah, a lot of the Criterion stuff has not been getting Dolby Vision, and then BFI's releasing it, and it has Dolby Vision. That alone doesn't make it better necessarily.
I don't know what to say. This is the worst thing that's happened this week.
I'm just letting you sit in that for a minute.
No Dolby Vision.
It means a lot. All right, let's go to the next one.
So basically, if I want Dolby Vision, I have to go overseas.
Yep.
I have to leave this country and go elsewhere.
Yes. And you better order it soon so you don't get charged a tariff.
Yeah. You know what sucks is that all the other countries are falling apart too. Like, there's nowhere to go, man.
Oh, man.
It's like, where are we gonna go?
Let's talk about more Kurosawa first. Stray Dog.
Yeah. Speaking of being home, rootless.
We get a Blu-ray release in the UK on January 20th.
No, hold on. We're going to talk politics. Brian's talking about Canada. You need to Google what's going on in Canada, man. It's the worst. It's the worst. They're in Quebec. Oh my God, the fucking French people.
Yeah, go watch Letterkenny.
No, seriously. Like, it's bad. The right wing takeover of Canada is happening, and it's scary to see. Like, these guys don't even say they're sorry. They just slice you. They come right in. There's nowhere to go.
All right. No, let's talk about Stray Dog for a minute. Newly recorded
water and guns.
Newly recorded interview with Jasper Sharp. We've got let's see, first pressing illustrated booklet with new writing by Barry Forshaw on this as well. Kurosawa, he's all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a great movie, man. I love Stray Dog.
Well, how about High and Low? This is also getting released on January 20th on Blu-ray in the UK. This is from 1963. New interview with Jasper Sharp on this one as well. And all kinds of good stuff coming on this. Illustrated booklet.
I love seeing this, but there's still like 4 or 5 Kurosawa movies that haven't been released at all, like The Quiet Duel, so it's great to see these major films getting re-releases, but I'd still like to see some of the films that haven't come out yet, or some of the films that are only available on like Eclipse editions, like No Regrets for Our Youth. I would love to see a 4K of that. That's a gorgeous film.
Subaquatic asking, any idea why some Kurosawa is getting 4K and others not? There's no 4K restorations for some of these.
I guess that's what I'm rambling about. But that being said, High and Low, great film. So, bye, Craig. Oh, love Craig. Can we say? Are we allowed to say? Nope.
Well, first, let's talk about the fact that you attacked Canada, so you had to come back.
I attacked Canada?
I told you before, Will.
Oh, okay.
This is not the week to be doing this.
Doing what?
Leave the people of Canada alone.
Are you Canadian, dude?
No. I'm just saying. I told you before. Don't go after Canada.
I'm not.
I would come back every single time.
About Quebec.
Well, first of all, I'm talking about Quebec, which, according to many Quebecois, is not Canada. And second of all, do you even speak French? Because you wouldn't be allowed in Quebec if you didn't.
Oui. Je ne pas. Daniel.
Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
I'm glad we made time for this bit.
All right. See you, Sibner. All right. That was High and Low.
Talk about High and Low.
March 17th, Blu-ray from BFI as well. All We Imagine as Light. This is a 2024 film. I definitely see this likely getting a Janus Contemporaries release in the U.S.
That's so funny.
Well, there you go. Craig says we should brag about the essay for Gwen and what is the full title? Gwen or the Book of Sand?
Wow, way to brag about it, dude.
I've worked on so many things in the last 3 days. I'm amazed I know the word Gwen right now.
The Perils of Gwen or the Book of Sand?
No, in my house it was the Verils.
Well, let's talk about All We Imagine Is Light first.
Sure. All We Imagine Is Light. This is supposedly great. This has great reviews. I looked this up earlier because I was trying to figure out if this was going to be a Janus Contemporaries title. Looks like it likely will be, and it sounds like an incredible film. We got an introduction by the director, an alternative family, an interview with the writer and director, a newly recorded interview with one of the actors, documentary looking at progress versus tradition in India. First pressing, we got a booklet in this. More films about India and Indian films in general. We need more distribution for those, please.
Yeah. Not just RRR.
That doesn't even have a release. We need that too.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, Toombad, that was a big movie a couple years ago, getting another theatrical run for people that missed it. Check that out. I think it's coming at the end of this month or early in December. So
real quick to some comments. D. Sibner says, I still have the link, Will. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to be coming up to New York pretty soon. We should get coffee. Chris Silvestri says, Canadian. Yeah, it's one of my favorite labels. Everybody check out The Hard Part Begins. Okay.
Hey, Will, why don't you talk about your work on Gwen?
Hour.
This was mostly you, my friend.
Hour. Speaking of hours, it's about time. We just worked on a visual essay to accompany an upcoming Deaf Crocodile release of the 1984?
I think it's 84, yeah.
French animated film, Gwen or the Book of Sand. And the visual essay is about the nature of time and consciousness and surrealism. And it turned out pretty well. I was worried that it wouldn't turn out well because I really got into my own head, which is not
a very Will essay.
It's not a pleasant place to be. But I think it turned out okay. And I have to say, Gwen or the Book of Sand is a beautiful film. The animation was done by hand in a watercolor process called gouache. It's unbelievable, and it's very much a meditation on. It's a post-apocalyptic film that's a meditation on time, and I can't wait for people to see it. It's amazing.
And we get to talk about that right after Chronos. There's a lot of similar thoughts going through tonight.
Gwen is the kind of movie that you can watch like 10 straight days and fall asleep at a different point in the movie. You know, because it's a very languid, like slow-paced, surrealistic
Meditative,
film.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing like you can watch and fall asleep, and then the next night just start where you left off and keep going, and then or start over. Right? It's a film you can just like pick up at any point, and it's gorgeous. I've seen it now 5 times. When is it scheduled? Do you know? January, maybe?
It's either January or February. Yeah, one of those 2 months.
But definitely a good Valentine's Day movie.
It's beautiful to look at, that's for sure.
I mean, it's French, so there's some young people having illicit sex.
All right, we have a grand total of 4 titles left. Now that we're talking about young people having illicit sex, let's break through these.
Well, I mean, we already talked about Catholics, but
The Outrun. This is coming from Studio Canal on Blu-ray in the UK on December 16th. This is Saoirse Ronan film. She's supposedly amazing in this. She's pretty great in pretty much everything that she does.
Supposedly.
I've not seen it. I never even knew this was coming out.
Reported. She's
That's
reported.
what I hear.
Yeah.
This has Dolby Atmos. We've got a bunch of featurettes, making of, and trailer.
Allegedly. She's allegedly amazing.
Legalese is important, Will. I don't want anybody thinking this is a full-throated recommendation. For
Whoa.
Next title, Short Night of Glass Dolls. We were talking about this earlier. 88 Films says they are going to be releasing this in March on 4K in the UK. So if you want that and you want it somewhere around probably next June or July, you can get that from 88 Films.
Well, does it have the pan and scan?
Probably not.
Oh, fuck that.
Next up, Motel Hell.
Oh, hell yeah.
Is getting a Walmart exclusive 4K Steelbook. This is coming on January 7th. Now, this one is less egregious. First off, let's talk about this. Motel Hell, fun movie. I like this movie quite a bit. And the art is pretty damn good on this.
A masterpiece.
I wish there was more of the film with him in the mask and killing people. But yeah.
It's about the build.
I get it.
It's about Ivan and the Terribles.
Any thoughts on the art or the film that you want to get out? Okay.
Great. Walmart, great. Meat's meat. The man's got to eat.
So this one's not as egregious. However, the next release, Drag Me to Hell, that just came out like last month in their regular release. Now, Scream Factory doing their whole cash grab plan here. This is coming in a 4K Steelbook on January 7th as a Walmart exclusive as well. I mean, just announce them at the same time. I don't understand why do you have to wait 45 days and see if people want to like triple dip on the Blu-ray? This is now the 3rd release of this film from Scream Factory.
Well, Drag Me to Hell is also how I would describe someone taking me to Walmart.
Understandable.
I kind of feel like Walmart shoppers, this will be the first version of Drag Me to Hell they see.
Well, they probably won't see it in stores because most of them don't ever carry these steelbooks.
Oh. Well, I mean, If it means more money to the company, I'm all for it. Like Walmart exclusives, I'm not a Walmart shopper, you know. So people who are Walmart shoppers, great, get it there. I have no problem with that.
Well, that is the end of our announcements. But as usual, after those announcements, we always cover what is coming out next week in case you forgot.
Is it exclusively at Walmart?
Some of them probably are. We've got the Seven Samurai 4K from Criterion, Scarface 4K from Criterion. We've got a little box set.
Oh, you've already got yours, huh?
I haven't opened it yet, but
Mine's
it just
on the
came
way.
in.
Yeah.
All the Hansby Hours, Volume 2 from Severin. Born on the 4th of July, coming on 4K from Shout Studios.
Nice.
Paradise, we saw that earlier from Will. We've got Elvira, Mistress of the Dark 4K from Arrow. Sugarland Express, one of Will's favorite directors, getting a 4K release. Heavenly Bodies, also from Fun City Editions. The Invasion 4K from Arrow Video. Gladiator 4K getting another Steelbook re-release. That Golden Harvest Volume 1 box set, Supernatural Shockers from Shout, is getting a release. Arabesque 4K from Kino. SpongeBob SquarePants 4K Standard. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles 4K Steelbook. This Film Masters release of Night of the Blood Beast and Attack of the Giant Leeches, this had quietly gone out of print already, and now it's coming back somehow. Very odd setup on how that worked out. Circus of Horrors 4K from Kino, top copy. The Afro Samurai Complete Series Steelbook coming out as well. Kung Fu Instructor from 88 Films. Horrible High Heels from Masker Video, something that I should probably not have that on the screen for very long. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles getting its Blu-ray release. 1, 2, 3 getting a re-release from Kino. King of Queens Complete Series getting a Blu-ray re-release. Infinite Santa 8000 from Synapse.
I want you to say the title of that one on the right.
I Am a Nymphomaniac.
Yeah, you are.
The standard retail edition from Mondo Macabro. Everybody go listen to the Mondo Macabro podcast. It's great. Triumph of the Spirit getting a release from Kino. Maniac, the Something Weird and Kino collaboration, getting a release. 2 Duo coming from Arbalos Roseland from Cohen. Facets of Love from 88 Films. Merchant Ivory, the documentary from Cohen, also coming out. The Boss, the Fernando De Leo title, getting its Raro release next week with a new 4K restoration. Le Beau Mech getting its release from Altered Innocence. That one without a slipcover, if that's your thing. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Blue Christmas from VCI, if that's one that you're super into. You've already got some of these. Any of these that you don't have yet that you're getting? Like Sugarland Express?
Just to be clear, Triumph of the Spirit is very different from Triumph of the Will.
Slightly.
Very different. What else is scroll down a little bit?
Yes, sir.
It'd be funny if there was like if SpongeBob SquarePants did a remake of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I want to know why we don't have more Muppets movies for stuff like that. We definitely
I just want to follow up with those aren't pillows joke. Muppets, yeah. I like Top Copy a lot. What else is down there?
I was just going to say, after Ronnie's comment, it makes even funnier play on your words there.
We scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, all right. I'm going to say something. I think King of Queens is a funny show.
Will.
I'm not going to get this box set or anything, but I thought it was a funny show.
It's not good.
You're not good.
I know.
You know what?
I myself that a lot.
I take that back. That's the frustration of the week. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
That's not true.
I got frustrated. No. Let me tell you, dude, I don't know if you've noticed, but people have been stressed out the past couple days. Like I've definitely been snippy. It's okay. We can disagree on the King of Queens. We can still work together.
I really want to check out 2 Duo from Arbalos.
Yeah. Kevin James does suck. That's what's so funny about it, is that it's a fun, like, I don't think he's funny at all. He's the worst part of the show, just like Jerry Seinfeld's the worst part of Seinfeld. Yeah, he is. Like, but Jerry Stiller and the God, there was this one joke that what's that nerdy guy? He's married to Natty Gann. His first wife was a true crime lady that solved the Golden State Killer.
Oh, Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, that guy. I'm not a huge fan because I can't even remember his name. I love Natty Gann though. There was an episode of King of Queens where Patton Oswalt was talking about like cheese, and well, it's not gonna be funny when I say it, but it was like he was describing some piece of furniture made out of cheese, and Kevin James was like, how would that even work structurally? And Patton Oswalt was like, well, I'm not brie. I don't know. It's like one of those funny moments that just sticks with you forever.
I loved, there was an episode of King of Queens where Patton Oswalt realized he had no lines in the whole cold opening, and he had no actions. So when they started filming, he literally stood dead still while holding his drink. And all of the camera movement, if you watch, he's literally not moving the entire intro, and everybody's acting around him. It is so fun. And he's such a minor character, you don't even notice unless you're looking for it.
That's hilarious. And Jerry Stiller is funny in everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And say what you will about Scientology, I think Leah Remini is pretty funny.
I would agree.
Yeah. So yeah, Kevin James obviously the weak point of everything that he does, and yet he's a fucking gazillionaire. So what do I have to say about my life?
Yeah.
I should drive a UPS truck. They make good money now. I can't even get a union. I'm in a right to work state. And I should get a UPS job like ASAP.
Our friend Omaha John on the Discord could hook you up. He works at UPS.
Like, I'm for real. Like, that's work that actually satisfies me. Like,
maybe you could get a discount on shipping.
Well, I would. Speaking of, oh man, oh well, that imprint sale. Oh, I'm tempted. I didn't see The Zookeeper. What's that?
It's a Kevin James movie.
Oh, okay. I thought, wasn't that Scarlett Johansson?
That does not seem like a match made in heaven.
She was in a zoo movie.
Isn't that Matt Damon, We Build a Zoo or whatever?
Oh, yeah. But I was going to say, if it's like an Adam Sandler movie, then she probably is married to Kevin James.
Yeah.
Talk about aspirational.
We bought a zoo, not we built a zoo. That's right. Thanks, guys. Hell of a week. Lots going on, obviously. Lots of announcements this week.
Well, that Zootopia is woke as fuck.
Have you seen Zootopia? It's a good movie.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the sloth.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Lots going on behind the scenes. Can't wait.
Zookeeper's wife. I thought that was the astronaut's wife. Paul Behrman's talking about the zookeeper's wife. What's that? Charlize Theron's the astronaut's wife. Where Johnny Depp is an astronaut somehow.
We're making like a weird spider web of movies now.
Listen, man, I know Johnny Depp's had a rough couple of years.
It's been pretty shitty.
It's funny that I would say that. Fuck him. I'm team whatever his wife's name was. I'm team her.
Amber.
Who?
Amber. Heard.
Yeah. I'm team her. But
no, Heard.
Yeah, her. Hey, you know it was a good movie. Was freaking Drive Angry. Freaking ruled in that. That's a great movie.
I was actually naming a good movie with her, but yes.
What was she in?
She wasn't in Her. Her is a better movie.
Who?
This is so ridiculous.
You're Abbott.
Oh, I love it.
You're Abbott. Well, who was in The Astronaut's Wife? That was Johnny Depp.
The Astronaut.
Johnny Depp was a. Is that Johnny Depp? Am I thinking of it?
I don't know.
Is that him?
That was so off the cuff. I should
Or
not.
was it the Joker? Who's in The Astronaut's Wife? Google.
Oh man.
Boy, I have to type a lot in for this autofill. 1999.
Charlize Theron and Johnny Depp.
It is Johnny Depp.
Yep.
And we're supposed to believe he's an astronaut. Johnny Depp.
He's been to outer space, definitely.
Yeah. I work for NASA.
That accent.
Yeah.
It
was Benny and June. I was doing a Benny and June thing. You probably thought it was Edward Scissorhands, but it was Benny and June.
Edward Scissorhands acting as Sweeney Todd, the demon barber.
Johnny Depp as an astronaut. Jesus Christ. I would have an easier time believing that you could train coal miners to be astronauts or engineers or whatever Ben Affleck says.
Anyways,
I saw that movie Armageddon.
Arma getting us out of here.
Well, who's the zookeeper's wife? Did we get that settled?
I have to look it up because I don't know anything about
What is even that movie? The Zookeeper's Wife. Do zookeepers have wives? I thought
Jessica Chastain. It's a 2017 film called The Zookeeper's Wife.
Let me tell you one thing. Jessica Chastain is not married to a zookeeper. Actually, I guess these days, isn't that the new thing? Like, celebrity women are married to, like, just regular dudes who do weird stuff?
Yep.
Who is it? Lana Del Rey is married to, like, a NASCAR driver or something?
He's somebody,
Somebody else. And then, like, somebody's married to a veterinarian.
This episode is ending wonderfully.
Listen, this country is ending wonderfully.
Oh, man. Oh, that's right. He's a swamp tour guy.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. He's the Swamp King. Swamp Thing.
The Swamp Thing.
This country is ending very bigly. I've never tried to do it. I've never tried to do a Trump thing before.
You. Oh man.
That was pretty bad.
It was rough, yeah, but it was still fun.
I'll work on. I got the rest of my life to work on it now.
Oh yikes!
That'll be my project 2025.
Anyways, tonight has been
shit, man. You know what? Movies are awesome. You guys are awesome. Fuck this shit. It's time to reply.
If you need a community and you are feeling alone, we'd love to have you around. If you want to be around more, Patreon link in the description below. Come join us in the Discord. We hang out all day, talk about films, talk about our lives, talk about anything bothering us. Lots of people that are willing to just listen. If you need it, we'd be thrilled to have you. We have lots of stuff coming up in the near future, stuff that we're working on, stuff that we've been working on literally for more than a year and a half at this point for a couple of the titles. Eager to get these in your hands, but there's a lot going on, I promise. Stuff that is out of our hands. Can't wait to be able to share them with you. Will, it's an honor to have you around. Everybody in the chat, it's a relief to be able to have you here and come back and find friends like this.
I'm going to join the Discord.
You have joined the Discord twice already.
I keep. I'll be honest with you. Like, I keep getting on there, and I don't know how to get in. I feel awkward. Like, I don't want to just like jump into somebody else's conversation. Be like, "Ooh, I love that."
That's the point.
Or "Ooh, your opinions are stupid." I don't want to do that. You know. No, I would never do that.
Tony says, "Great show. Consider this group my international film family."
Tally ho, dude.
Glad to have you. All right, all. We will be back. One of us will be back next Thursday, and Will might be back in December.
Are you allowed to say who it is next?
Yeah, of course. Let me make sure it's not somebody that's.
Oh my God, you're such a celebrity, you don't even know.
No, but I've stuff booked all the way through February already.
Look at you.
Next week is Zachary K. Bryant, who was in the chat earlier from They Live by Film.
Oh my God, I loved him in Home Improvement.
He's gonna love that.
Are you serious, dude? I thought he was in jail.
Thank you all. We'll see you next week with Zach. And until then, keep your head up, find a community around you.
Welcome back, dude.
Thanks, Will.
You say Zachary Ty Bryant?
K. Bryant.
Oh, that's a different person.
Oh. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share with someone else that may appreciate this.